It took a minute and 20 seconds, so we sped up the video. Like, really intense stuff. The Steeler fan, all 280 some odd pounds of them, actually.
That's what I'm talking about.
See,
that's
you like that arm wrestling, right?
Yeah.
It's legit, real arm wrestling. Stuart Scott, Matt Millen, Steve Young, two of the three youngest head coaches in the league going at each other tonight. But before we get to the game, we got to talk about a very interesting decision that comes before the game. Ryan Clark, Steelers safety. A couple of years ago when the Steelers came here to play, Ryan Clark, because of the high altitude, had a rare sickle cell trait that was actually triggered by the altitude. He got extremely sick after the game. He almost died. He ended up losing his spleen and his gallbladder. There was a lot of concern whether or not he should play this week. Coach Mike Tomlin took the decision away from him. Coach Tomlin saying he will not play. In part, guys, Tomlin does not want him to play because he doesn't want him to be a distraction to his teammates who might worry about him. Steve, if you're the player with that kind of trait, that kind of sickness, that kind of near-death experience, would you want to play?
Well, it's impactful for sure, and I don't know that I want to play football in general. If I've never been anything like this, so it's hard for me to say, but I will say if the doctors feel that you can play football, if they told me, look, you're going to be okay, you know, there's regular risk of football, but within that range of risk, you can play, I think I'd play. But I think when Coach Tomlin stepped in and said, well, we're not going to give you that chance. It'd be interesting to see if it wasn't a defensive safety or a defensive back and it was a quarterback. It'd be interesting to see how that played out, too.
Medically, he was cleared to play.
Yeah.
Medically, he was. Matt, as a GM, as a coach, let's say the player comes to you and says, Coach, Mr. GM, I want to play. What do you do?
I think you go back and kind of hit on what Steve said. I think it's a process. I think the first thing you do is you talk to the player. He wants to play. Then you go to your team doctors, and the doctors say, okay, he can play. Then you go to a specialist, and you say, okay, they can play. And then it comes to you, and then you make that decision. And I think we obviously don't have enough information, but you would gather as much information as you can, and if you're completely assured that the guy's not going to hurt himself, then I would say go ahead.
I think at the end of the day that there was so much drama, real drama, life drama, that's what this is so different. This is why it's so unique.
Clark third on the Steelers this year in tackles. On the other side of the ball, another guy who is going to play, Ty Law. Hadn't played a game since December of last year with the Jets. He celebrated the birth of his third child this week on Tuesday. He was just chilling at home, probably not getting a lot of sleep.
He wasn't chilling at home.
Oh, he wasn't chilling.
Child. He was not sleeping.
He was not sleeping.
He was
Sounds
grinding
like
it
a little
out.
experience coming out there, Steve. Little experience.
He gets a call. Friday he signs. Saturday he practices. Tonight he plays. What do you expect from him?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. I think what you're going to expect from Ty Law tonight is a smart, heady player. You know, he doesn't run well. He hasn't run well for about the last 5 years, but he's not going to put himself in a position that he can't get out of. He'll expect him to use his help and to use his brain. He understands completely the scheme, or should, and that's what's going to get him through this game.
The problem is going to force the Broncos not to be able to play their man schemes as much, because if they man, they can put a tight end out there, force now Ty Law to go track somebody that they don't want to track. At the end of the day, you've got to have somebody that can play all the defense. It's going to limit the Broncos and what they can do tonight.
But he does. He's a little familiar with the system because Josh McDaniels
he knows the system for sure.
Was with the Patriots.
He cannot be manned up on Hines Ward tonight. That would not be good.
That would not be pretty.
15 years in the league for Ty Law, 52 career interceptions, second all-time among active players. Hey, is this how you go to work? This is the guy that Ty Law may be seeing a lot of. Hines Ward. He's had a 100-catch season in the NFL and maybe the best blocking wideout we've ever seen in the game. And there's Big Ben Roethlisberger, 27 years old, rocking a funky shirt. But hey, two-time Super Bowl winner, you can wear what you want.
Ain't that the truth? Coming up, a pair of ugly Week 9 incidents, one involving a...
What's the reception among the other team players wanting to see him back in the uniform and just having him back on the field, not just in the practice squad?
I think it's very positive. You know, I announced it to the team this morning at our team meeting, and they all applauded. McGarrett spoke to the team briefly, and you know, I think they're all generally excited for him. It was a long road back for him, but he fulfilled everything that we asked him to do.
ESPN college football analyst Joe Shad joining us now. All right, the Ducks coming off that upset loss to Stanford on Saturday. Still lead the Pac-10, got the inside track to the Rose Bowl. So why bring this young man back now?
Well, what they think about this young man, and by they I mean the Pac-10 and Chip Kelly, is that the time is right to give him an opportunity to resume his career. As the Pac-10 stated today, LeGarrette Blount, in their opinion, has paid the appropriate price, Jay. The head coach, Chip Kelly, he says they set up some ladders, at both academic and behavioral, and LeGarrette Blount took every step required on those ladders. Showed up for class on time, showed up for meetings on time, did all the counseling they asked him to do, even took part in some community service. Now, Jay, LeGarrette Blount addressed his teammates once again today, told him he was sorry for what he did, that he's glad to be back and contributing. Bottom line, he might have worked his way back onto the team. He's got to work his way back into the rotation, because right now Chip Kelly says LeGarrette Blount is 4th or 5th running back on the depth chart.
I don't think he'll be there long.
Maybe not.
They're bringing back at a crucial time. Oregon hosts ASU and Oregon State. Pac-10 title could be on the line November 21st against Arizona. So, again, they're bringing him back at a crucial time.
No
Joe
doubt.
Shad, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Jay.
Also, Florida State quarterback
on pace to become the first 4,000-yard passer in Steelers history. We asked Roethlisberger why the offense looks so different this season.
Well, I think we've got a lot of weapons, from Heath Miller, tight end, to all the receivers, our running backs. And I think we have to be more balanced, because the league has evolved into a balanced league. And I think if you want to be successful, you have to utilize the weapons you have. We can't just use them for decoys.
Well, Roethlisberger was referring to tight end Heath Miller, the team's second leading receiver behind Hines Ward. Roethlisberger said it would be, quote, a shame to use Miller solely as a blocking tight end. And Miller has delivered. He's been targeted 46 times this season. He's caught 40 of those balls. Brian, he's just one reason Roethlisberger is completing 70% of his passes this season, second in the NFL behind only Peyton Manning.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Get back to you on Monday. Kickoff. Chargers coming back on the Giants, sending the G-men to their 4th straight loss.
Hoping that it'll be beautiful for he and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, across the way, a team that only lost in its last outing after ringing up 6 straight wins behind Kyle Orton at quarterback. It'll be dueling the defending champs this evening. Welcome, everybody, to Monday Night Countdown. Let us wish you a happy Veterans Day, which, of course, comes up Wednesday, November 11th. Thank you. At Cincinnati, the Steelers were an eyebrow-raising 1-2. But they turned it around, didn't they? With a 4-game winning streak, most recently handing the Vikings their first loss of the season. They're coming off a bye. So here we are, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 4-2. And Key, the big picture for the Steelers. I mean, 4-2, they need to make no apology.
Spleen removed, and he missed the remainder of the 2007 season. Now, Clark has been medically cleared to play here tonight, but head coach Mike Tomlin has decided to sit him, saying if this were my son or my brother, I wouldn't want him to play. Now, Clark himself has mixed feelings about the whole thing, but his teammates have said to him, it's just football, it's just one game, this is your life we're talking about. And if he did play, Tomlin said the entire team would be so concerned about his condition all night. He said, honestly, it's easier for us to focus if he doesn't play. Now, for more on Ryan Clark, we send it to Chris Mortensen.
That's right, Michelle. And he does fall within that 1% rare of the population who has sickle cell trait that is affected by high altitude. And even though the doctors gave him clearance, gave him a green light, it did come with conditions. Doctors could not guarantee that that the other organs that he still has, the lungs, liver, or kidneys, would not be affected. They've already removed the spleen and gallbladder. That's why he was cleared, because the spleen was most affected by that previous incident. And Clark and Tomlin weren't comfortable with those stipulations. Now, Santonio Holmes there, he has a sickle cell trait, but he's not among that 1% group like Clark. However, he admitted he had a lot of problems breathing last time he was at Mile High. So last week, he prepared by getting in a hyperbaric chamber all week just in case he had a little bit of problems with the oxygen. That's why he did that. And here's an intriguing question that I asked today, and that is, what happens if the Steelers lose tonight and then they're playing as a wild card team and go to Denver in January for the playoffs? What do Clark and Tomlin do at that point? And I was told by my Steelers source, he says, you know what? We'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it, Boomer.
Right, no need to discuss it now, but for this regular season game, Morton and Coach, you know, you were in those shoes. There's no
Mike Tomlin, right? Mike Tomlin is a great guy to make this a tough decision.
Yes,
and it's tough on the kid, too. He wants
it really is.
But let me tell you something. Life is a heck of a lot more important than one football game. This kid could lose his life if he's out there playing. I admire him for doing it because a lot of coaches wouldn't have the guts to pull the trigger.
Amen. All right, that's it. Dewey, Tom, Big Ben chimes in with his soundtrack to the Week 4 win over the Chargers. Boom. And...
don't they?
Oh, they can rival Dick LeBeau because they have 52 years of experience back there, and that includes Champ Bailey. Now, he said that Ben Roethlisberger's ability to keep plays alive outside of the pocket is a nightmare for cornerbacks. And when I asked Champ about Ben's ability to pump fake, he said that is truly deadly because he can freeze you. No one does it like him. A lot of quarterbacks will just flinch, but Ben takes his arm all the way through. It's perfect.
He don't just stand back there and just throw it everywhere. He'll pump you, go to the left, run out of the pocket. Boy, when he gets out of the pocket, he's probably the most dangerous quarterback, and I'm not talking about running. He will throw that ball 50 yards if you let him.
That's why priority one tonight is to keep Ben in the pocket. Defensive coordinator Mike Nolan made another good point about that pump fake, that it doesn't just affect the back end, the secondary. It affects all 11 because if a defensive lineman bites on that too, comes off his block, wants to knock it down, well, it changes everything. Stuart, this is one dangerous quarterback.
All right, Susan, I know that Ben Roethlisberger, he puts his football smarts on the line in the GMC Engineered to Win Trivia Challenge. You should too. Visit ESPN.com, search GMC to test your skills with our own Tom Jackson. Coming up on Monday Night Countdown, how about them Cowboys? Why some of
what the year it is. I think I have to send you a reminder. Here it is. Give you a friendly reminder.
GMC, engineered to win.
Player for the remainder of the season, a tough decision. Look at him now, Pete.
Nothing really, truth be known. Baltimore was a motivated team coming off a bye. The Broncos ran into a buzzsaw.
Also in the back end. Does that change at all your plan?
It doesn't. You know, that's the story of the National Football League. It's November. Everybody plays without starters in some form or fashion. You know, we're not looking for excuses. We came here to play this game, and the standard for us is going to be the standard.
Finally, Coach, when you get that team in the locker room right before kickoff, what will your final message be?
Let it all hang out. You know, this is what competitors do. It's Monday Night Football. We're playing a great football team in their venue. What else could you ask for?
Mike, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So back to the studio.
For more on the matchup that's engineered to win, presented by GMC Sierra, Joe Theismann and Sterling Sharp.
Our Monday night matchup has the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to Denver to take on the Broncos.
Countdown yesterday. What has your life been like since the day you got the call that Pat was killed?
Well, you know, there's certainly been some difficult times, but I'm lucky to have had not only the support of my friends and family, but also so many people across the country who were touched by Pat's story. So,
what don't a lot of people across the country understand about what veterans need?
You know, I think people assume a lot of times that there is a lot of support for them, and sometimes that isn't the case. So, you know, we're happy to be able to help them, and not only veterans, but also their families, because a lot of times when someone enlists, it's not just the individual soldier, but the entire family that's affected.
What would Pat be most proud of if he knew everything that had happened, his scholarship, everything?
You know, I hope that he would be proud of what we're doing in his memory. I know that, you know, giving back and contributing to your community was something that he believed in, and that's what we try to honor in his memory.
Corporal Garcia, I know that you were raised in Los Angeles. You were raised in poverty, government housing. Both of your parents are deaf. What does it mean to you to be a recipient of this scholarship?
It just means going above and beyond and giving back to your community. Coming from that type of background, growing up in East Los Angeles with deaf parents, growing up in project housing, I plan on fulfilling Pat Tillman's legacy by pursuing a career in social work or hearing and speech science that'll put me in a better position to help the deaf community and meet their needs.
In what ways do you want to do that, and how much influence did your parents have in that decision?
My parents have had a great influence on my decision on pursuing this type of career. I mean, growing up in East Los Angeles, it wasn't the easiest thing, and having deaf parents has helped me motivate myself to go further and give back to the deaf community.
All right. Corporal Garcia, Marie Tillman, I want to thank both of you on behalf of all of us at Monday Night Countdown for joining us, for sharing your stories, and best of luck in everything you do. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Still to come on Monday Night Countdown. The Steelers are looking up at the Bengals in the AFC North. Is Cincinnati now the favorite to win the division?
Now, Ben wears number 7. I tell you, it ain't because of, Ron Jaworski. Why do you wear number 7?
The man that made this town, John Elway.
John Elway's the reason why?
John Elway.
How about that? How ironic. Trying to beat down his hero's team. Here's more of Ben in Soundtracks.
I can throw a tight spiral, save my life. You guys give me a little time here, okay? Say hi.
Gets the snap. He's back. Here's the blitz. Quick out to the left. Look out. Here's Keisel running more. Inside the 5. Goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
I don't want to get in back here. There you are. I wonder if you were in here. I didn't see you much. You all right? You healthy? No, man, you healthy? You good? Yeah. Okay.
Ben wants to throw it. Diving pattern, left side of the end zone. Touchdown, Heath Miller.
Good game. Hey, we had to win that.
Guys, this is weird. We've rarely seen this. We are in Denver, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. This looks like
when the Broncos came on the field, we heard more boos. There are thousands upon thousands of Steeler fans here. I don't know what's going on outside. Fans are still coming in, but right now inside of Invesco Field, Steeler fans.
It's a collegiate field with the Steelers. They travel.
They travel. Steeler fans love travel.
You gotta love it.
There's a bunch of Yunzes going on out here.
Whole lot of black and gold going on, and they're all here to see Ben Roethlisberger and the high-flying Pittsburgh Steelers. Wait a second. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Ben Roethlisberger and the high-flying Steelers. They're passing the ball, and they're passing the ball well. So, Steve, why isn't Big Ben mentioned in the same breath as Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees?
Well,
What's
it's
up?
Close. You hear some people talking about that, and there's a big difference. I was just teasing the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, you guys went West Coast. You guys are throwing the ball. This is not your old Steelers, and I think until they get Mendenhall running the ball, they're not going to be. They're going to have Ben Roethlisberger throw 60% of the passes. If Big Ben is going to be mentioned with Peyton and with Tom, and now with Drew Brees, you have to orchestrate from the pocket. It's the nature of the position. There is nobody more playground. Let me finish. Ben Roethlisberger was born on the playground, played on the playground, did it in college, does it in the pro. Nobody better on a playground kind of atmosphere than Ben Roethlisberger. But he has to do it from the pocket. This is the year. Bruce Arians is calling plays from the Indianapolis Colts. This is the time they're going to call 60% of the passes. If he's going to do it, do 80% of the throws from the pocket and orchestrate this offense and take this team. He's already taken them twice to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. He's
but
got
this is
two
different.
Super Bowls.
He's not. He needs to orchestrate. This is the year to do it. Yeah. This is the opportunity. And tonight, I can't wait to watch him maybe emerge, in my mind, into that group. I want to see him in the pocket.
But he's got two Super Bowls. Why isn't he in the group right now?
Because quarterback is more than just Super Bowls.
I disagree with that. Let me be very scientific about this whole thing.
Oh, scientific. I can't
pocket
wait for this.
Schmocket. That means nothing. That guy right there, it's fun. He wears number 7. And Stu, you asked him about that. He reminds me of John Elway. And I played against Elway a lot. And the reason why he reminds me of Elway is because he's so unpredictable. He's got the big arm. He's got an athleticism. He's got great balance. You can't knock him off his feet.
What?
And he's a big sucker, Steve.
I'll tell you what. That's
a big sucker.
Let me amend it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are finally giving their quarterback an opportunity to be one of those guys. This is the first time you've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers not just grinding it out with running the ball and playing defense. So in my mind, they're giving the chance for Ben Roethlisberger to be mentioned in those guys. I can't wait to see it tonight.
It's just going to be a matter of time. That's what he really needs.
27 years old, 2 Super Bowls. But get this, coming into this year, he only averaged 208 yards passing a game, for his career, this year Ben Roethlisberger is averaging 295 yards a game. It's 4th best in the league. This dude is on pace for a 4,700-yard passing season, which would beat Terry Bradshaw's team record by 1,000 yards. Think about that for a second. Still to come. Pocket schmock it. The Broncos are an impressive 6-1, but do we think they are a Super Bowl contender?
Well, I was at that game. I talked to Anquan.
Majestic. When you look at the numbers, 72% complete, 11.3 yards per pass attempt, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
When he's in the pocket, he's barn strong, and he has great vision. When we talk about extending the plays, it's the anticipation of what the defense.
First quarter. Combined, 142 picks, 36 playoff games, 20 Pro Bowl appearances. They may not all be in their complete prime, but you talk about leadership and know-how back there?
Yes.
Wow.
Not going to trick them.
New England or the West.
You know they're going to
get those old players and get something out of them.
But these, I mean, Brian Dawkins, his leadership has been unbelievable. And now here's Ty Law. I can't wait to see it. From the Broncos secondary to our primary crew in Denver. Stuart?
Well, Boom, you're talking about Ty Law. It's not just that he was signed this week. This was Ty Law's week. Tuesday, he celebrated the birth of his 3rd child. So clearly not a whole lot of sleep. Later in the week, he gets a call. Yo, dude, you want to come play nickelback for the Broncos? He hasn't played a football game since December.
In 3 days. He figures, hey, I'll go to Denver. At least I'll get some sleep.
Some rest.
And I might be able to play some ball. No problem.
His last game was December of last year with the Jets. So he signs on Friday. He practices on Saturday. He's playing tonight. What can Denver expect from this 15-year guy out of Michigan?
Now, I think the bottom line is what they just said on the set back in Bristol. I think you're not going to trick this guy right now. He understands where his help will come from. He's going to understand exactly what the scheme and what's asked for him. But if they put him in a position where he has to rely on pure speed or change of direction, the longer this game goes, it's going to be brutal.
They can't do it. So it's going to limit their ability to play defense.
Right.
They're not going to be able to, their man-to-man schemes are going to be trouble. Unless they double team with Ty, they can't do it. You cannot put him in from having a baby, not playing for 9 months, and then playing the game today. You cannot go one-on-one.
Okay.
So you're going to limit your ability to play defense no matter how you look at it. They're going to have 70% of their playbook available tonight, and not the whole
that's
bit.
assuming that man-to-man was big in their scheme, and we don't know that. I spoke to Mike
I'm just saying, you can't play man-to-man with him on the field because you can isolate him with the tight end.
No. You're wrong. On a short field, you can do that.
Oh, really? Man-to-man. Put Hines Ward on Ty Law.
In a short field, you can do that.
I want to go up against Ty Law tonight.
But Hines Ward, wait a second, though. Hines Ward is not killing anybody with his speed.
Speed, I'm talking about a guy that has not played in 10 months football at all. You cannot put him one-on-one. It's not right. No. You can't do it. It's going to limit the Broncos. But he's smart, as everyone's point. He's smart. He'll get in the right spot. They'll play a lot of zone. They'll play a lot of combinations. That's fine. But they're not going to be able to play man-to-man, especially down the red zone. No way.
Here's another interesting subplot concerning the secondary. How about Champ Bailey and Hines Ward? Hines Ward and Champ Bailey, they were teammates in college. In fact, when Champ Bailey was recruited to Georgia, Hines was his player host. Now both of them, of course, in the NFL, both of them multiple-time Pro Bowlers. So you might think there's going to be some crazy trash talk. Hines Ward said, nah, most of the time when we play each other, we're just laughing. Speaking of laughing and good times, we bring in Susie Kalber for another team report. Suze, why was Bronco defensive practice this week a little bit like elementary school?
That's because Josh McDaniel says that the Steelers are the best in the NFL at recess. You know, like street ball. Once Ben gets out of the pocket, that's when the real trouble starts because the Steelers are such a good scramble team. His receivers stay in perfect sync with him. Ben calls it the it factor. But here's what Denver did this week. Every day of practice, picture a drill that your dog is loose in the backyard and you want to get him in his pen and he doesn't want to go. That's what they did. They want to be able to corral Ben. They were preaching, you don't have to sack him, no heroic moves that you might miss. Number one priority, keep Ben in the pocket. Now for a final report on the Steelers, here's Michelle Tafoya.
Susie, the Steelers have had considerable success running their no-huddle offense this season, but how much can they run it here tonight in Denver in this altitude, given how winded players can get? Ben Roethlisberger told me he'll be keeping a close eye on his teammates, especially those big bodies on the offensive line. And when guys do need a rest, he said there are ways to slow down the no-huddle just enough, like lining up but waiting to snap the ball until the play clock is all the way down to 2 seconds. Regardless, Boomer, look for the Steelers to run that no-huddle much more effectively late in the game when they've become accustomed to the thinner air.
All right, Michelle, Susie, thank you very much for the tip. Now, this is Come On Man semi-pro style. James Harris returning the punt for the Las Vegas Cobras. Now watch this tackle. The bad news, it's the same team. Corey Tunner said, I got confused. So, great hit, but he got Sunday Thunder. But
it can happen.
Team.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It can happen.
But that was semi-pro.
Special team.
That's why it's semi.
That's why it's
semi-pro. All right, Keisel, we had a lot yesterday. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Let's go up to Seattle. Lions versus Seahawks in the fourth quarter.
Football fever in Denver.
Yes, they're for real. And I'm not saying that because I bleed Bronco orange. I'm saying that because I know football.
Tonight, the defending champion Steelers face their toughest test of the season so far.
This is an in-your-face football team. They got to pound the rock. They got to run the football. And if they don't do that, they're going to have problems.
Steelers, Broncos, AFC powers collide on Monday Night Football.
Hey, that was us.
Yeah.
And this is them. Steelers at the Broncos. Ben Roethlisberger won the 05 championship game to get onto the Super Bowl there, Chris. He's back.
Has accomplished a lot, of course, in his career. People know that. But at this point in his career, throwing the ball 70% completions, only 3 quarterbacks have ever done that. That's Ken Anderson, Joe Montana, and Steve Young. Throwing the ball at the best of his career.
Hey, Steve Young, Kyle Orton, maybe the most surprising 6-1 starting QB in recent memory. How has he done what he's done?
He drives over to the game with Coach Josh McDaniel. Coach McDaniel is an intellectual savant. There's no question that he's found his counterpart on the field with Kyle Orton. Kyle is the general on the field, and they grind away throughout the week on every little detail of the game plan. And I think they found a great partnership here that's going to play well throughout this year.
Back over to the Pittsburgh side, we hear so much about Big Ben and Hines Ward and Santonio Holmes. Hey, Matt Millen, why is Heath Miller so important to the Steeler offense?
Because he's involved in all parts of the game. He's involved in the passing game. He's the best, probably the best run blocking tight end in the National Football League. I think this guy, Heath Miller, is the most complete tight end in the league, and I think he's going to have a big role in the game tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Tommy, I forget where Elvis Dumervil went to school.
Louisville.
And he's pretty good Broncos.
Well, he's one of the best sack men in the league, and since he came into the league in 06, he's had 11 multi-sack games. That's what he needs to do tonight, put the pressure on Ben Roethlisberger, and at the same time, manage to keep him in the pocket. Dual task for Dumervil tonight.
Key, I forget when we go across the way where Troy Polamalu went to school. Where'd he go?
He went to USC, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, without Troy Polamalu, they're 2-2, and they're giving up 22 points a game and 1 interception. With him, they're 3-0, and they're only allowing 13 points a game, 4 interceptions defensively. 2 of them are from him, and they're 15-3 with an interception. Now, imagine if we didn't have you on Monday Night Countdown, where would we be?
You'd be fine. You're fine. Fine. Brent will come in. You're fine. Thank you, Key. Give him a raise, please. James Harrison, man, he's always in the backfield, isn't he?
Well, I'll keep it close. I'll keep it short anyways. 24 sacks over the last 22 games. He's caused 11 fumbles over that period of time. He is the best little defensive end in football.
Number 92s tonight. After 2 straight unanimous weeks, not everybody agrees on a victor tonight. I mean, how could we? It's a tough one. Who's picking the Steelers? Who's picking the Broncos? We'll be back. Bye-bye.
Monday Night Countdown is served by Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood. And
Key, Chris,
Bout it.
It's your Pittsburgh and Denver. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching Monday Night Countdown. I'm Chris Berman. Now, two of the AFC's elite rumble in the Rockies. Are you ready for some smash mouth football? Let's shush on out to Mike Tirico.
And Chris, it's a cool night on the Front Range. It's the best matchup of Week 9. The 6-1 Broncos, the 5-2 Steelers on ESPN Monday Night Football.
When I walk in the office every day, I walk past those 6 Lombardis.
Shay, what's up?
That's the standard for us.
This is going to be a physical game. Two teams that really play that style of football.
For us, we got to lay it on the line.
It's going to come down to the fourth quarter.
Ultimately,
this is our house! For the last 35 years, this is the toughest place to win in the NFL. Denver, Colorado, where the Broncos try to bounce back from the season's first loss against the champion Pittsburgh Steelers. ESPN's Monday Night Football launch, engineered by the GMC Sierra. Broncos Steelers on this Monday night. We welcome you not only to Denver, but the exact half point of the NFL season. The second half begins here tonight. The story of the first half, the surprise, perhaps Denver, 6-0 out of the gate. And that's a lot considering the mountain of problems leading up to this season. Hiring a young coach, trading the franchise quarterback to Chicago for a relative journeyman quarterback. #1 receiver, making a lot of off-field news. Broncos, that great start, they hit their bye, then had 2 games against the finalists last year in the AFC, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Baltimore last week, blown out 30-7, dominated in every facet. Now another measuring stick, the Super Bowl champs. Steelers 5-2 at this point last year. Here they are with that record again. Their defense is starting to do what usually happens when it gets cold. Starting to get nasty, mean, and dominate games. As I bring in John Gruden and Ron Jaworski, the other thing going for the Steelers, maybe different, Jaws, they can rely on what you need to win in football right now, a passing game, because they've got an elite quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger.
Mike, you're absolutely right. He's becoming an elite NFL quarterback. And watching Ben Roethlisberger grow as an NFL quarterback and develop has been a thing of beauty. It wasn't that long ago we talked about Roethlisberger. He was a game manager. Limit the number of throws. Keep him out of harm's way. Now I see a quarterback completing over 70% of his passes. I see a quarterback that understands coverage, a quarterback that reads the blitzes, changes the play at the line of scrimmage. He embraces the no-huddle offense where he's in control. And I think in this game tonight, what you're going to see is a quarterback that's going to go with those 3 and 4 wides, John, and really attack that secondary of the Denver Broncos.
You want to throw the football? Yeah. You're playing right into the strength of the Denver Broncos defense. This is the most decorated secondary in pro football. Matter of fact, it looks like an all-Madden secondary. Champ Bailey's been to 8 Pro Bowls. He can cover anybody. Brian Dawkins, he's been to 7 Pro Bowls. He can do anything on a football field. They just signed Ty Law. He's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And if you throw in Andre Goodman, you have Ronaldo Hill. You have 52 years of NFL experience. These guys can play any coverage, make any adjustment. You want to throw the ball? Bring it on, Ron.
I'm throwing it because you're too old. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, age and experience, that fine line. It's time for the right man for the job, presented by Michelin. How about the right men? Let's say there's a little tread left on these tires. Dawkins, Bailey, and Law. We know Dawkins still has the energy to fire up his crew after last week.
I think last week was the real Broncos. They think that 6 weeks of dominant football ain't who he is. Let's go out and do what we gotta do. This is our house. This is our house. This is our house. Take it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take it.
Hi there, I'm Kirsten. One day an idea came to me, and I was sitting right there. Working on my PC should be easier. Just like that, Windows 7 comes out. Check it out. It's got this cool little taskbar. I can see everything I have open. Makes working on a bunch of things at once easier. I know what you're thinking. Microsoft used Kirsten's idea. Know who else is thinking that? Kirsten. I'm a PC, and Windows 7 was my idea.
It's time for the winning look, presented by JCPenney. Look at the winner. That man, age 72, 51st season as a player or coach in the National Football League. Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator of the Steelers, as usual, one of the top units in the NFL. And John, Jaws, over time, the names have changed. The guys who knock you down have changed, but it's still the same. The quarterbacks go down a lot when they play against the Steelers.
Pittsburgh, or is it Blitzburg? Whatever, they get the same results. They can come right up the middle with powerful people and smash your quarterback. They can do it with an array of blitzes. Linebackers coming from everywhere that run over backs and get after your quarterback. And they can do it with sheer relentless energy. Play after play, game after game, the Pittsburgh Steelers get after the quarterback.
There's a lot of complex scheme stuff you guys will get into during the night, but what I love about Pittsburgh, even the kids who are home watching who play Pee Wee sports, they can learn something that the Steelers do as well as anybody.
Well, I think it all starts with Dick LeBeau. And what he talks about is, hey, we don't do anything shocking or great, but what we will do is run to the football. Take a look at it last week. Lamar Woodley picks up a fumble, and take a look at this legendary Steeler effort. 8 of them finishing the play, escort Lamar Woodley to the end zone. That is uncommon attitude and effort that makes grown football coaches cry. I love the Steelers and the way they play defense.
I am so glad you mentioned Dick LeBeau, because his style is about renting space in a quarterback's mind. He wants to win the mental matchup. That puts the pressure on Kyle Orton. Orton can't let the Steelers dictate how this game will be played. So needs to line of scrimmage. I would use some quick counts. Don't let the Steelers get set up. I would use some limited protections. Don't give them too many things to attack. Spread the field out. Throw the football, because this game's going to be won by Kyle Orton from the shoulders up.
It feels like there are a lot of Steelers around the quarterback and Steeler fans in the building. A lot of folks here. Great game coming up next on Monday Night Football.
You've been watching ESPN's Monday Night Football Launch, engineered by the GMC Sierra, the official vehicle of Monday Night Football.
The Sierra Crew Cab doesn't just offer more horsepower, more towing, more payload, and more torque than Ram or Tundra. Sierra offers a locking rear differential, which locks when Ram and Tundra's limited slip slips. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. The 2010 GMC Sierra. May the best truck win.
Oh, thank goodness you're back.
What's going on, sir?
We're slammed. Tons of people interested in all the money they could be saving by switching to Geico.
Yeah, of course.
Boy, did we miss you last week. That temp wasn't working out at all.
Took me all morning, but I got those quarterly figures for you.
Oh, he ate all my mints.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So we are ready for Monday Night Football.
You can take me now. I've seen it all. October 15th, 1984. It was only mid-October when we saw the largest snowstorm in Monday Night Football history descend on the city of Denver, obliterating the field and making conditions really treacherous. The Packers fumbled on each of their first 2 plays from scrimmage, and Denver's opportunistic defense returned both fumbles for touchdowns, grabbing an early 14-0 lead. The Packers outgained the Broncos the rest of the way, 423 yards to 193. But it wasn't enough, as the Broncos held on for a memorable 17-14 win. And now it's the Steelers and the Broncos. Are you ready?
Celebrating the 40th season of NFL Monday Night Football, ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Season 40, Chapter 9.
Super Bowl champs take a trip out west. The Broncos put them to a mile-high test. The NFL's best shine under these lights. They'll be gasping for air in Denver tonight. Ready? Come on and get ready. I mean, really ready.
the 40s. Ideal night. A lot of orange pom-poms, but wait. I see more than a few terrible towels. The Steeler fans have made their way to see if Mike Tomlin's team can win and equal Cincinnati atop the AFC North. They see the Bengals next week in the Steel City. Meantime, Josh McDaniel's team trying to bounce off a first loss of the year. If they have back-to-back losses, the Chargers will be knocking on the door just a game behind, and San Diego comes here in 2 weeks. Orton on the field with the offense first. Mike Tomlin's team won the toss, deferred the option to the second half, so Polamalu and company will try to stop Brandon Marshall out of the game.
Mike, there's a playoff atmosphere here in Denver.
No doubt about it. Jeff Reed set to kick. Off we go, a mile high in Denver. Eddie Royal took one back a couple of Mondays ago. Returns it out to the 21-yard line. He's tackled there by Kearon Fox. So Kyle Orton, Purdue Boilermaker, Chicago Bear, and now Denver Bronco. When he has played at home, he has been very successful. The Chicago days, and thus far here, that interception number jumps out. All these confusing defenses and all that goes on, he protects the ball jaws as well as any quarterback in the league.
And that's the reason he's so successful. You look at his record, 18-2 at home, overall 27-13. You win the turnover battle about 81% of the time, you're going to win the football game.
Opening drive starts from the 22. Play action, first play. Pass is caught by Royal. First down, gain of 13 for Eddie, who's been quiet the last couple of weeks.
Well, take a look at this. First play of the game, they insert Russ Hochstein, an offensive lineman at tight end. Normally, Denver runs the ball from this formation. Play action pass on the first play of the game, and there's that guy, Eddie Royal. We want to see a lot more of him tonight, Jaws.
Nice job by Orton. He looked at Brandon Marshall first. There was double coverage. He came backside to Eddie Royal.
Terrell Buckhalter's the back. His first carry. Gains a yard and a half. There is 92, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, James Harrison, on the stop. So Buckhalter carried. He and Noshawn Moreno, the rookie, will share the load in the backfield. Brandon Marshall hasn't had a catch over 20 yards the last 3 weeks. Scheffler, deep threat at tight end. Up front, Ryan Clady, outstanding left tackle with Hamilton. Wigman, who hasn't missed a snap in nearly 8 years. Cooper and Columbus. Tyler starts for Ryan Harris. The starting right tackle, toe injury, out tonight. After an official gain of 1, Orton gets rid of it. Royal. First down, midfield. Gain of 14.
When you play the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, it starts with protection from your offensive line. Here, a nice, comfortable pocket for Kyle Orton to throw from. He could get in that back foot, get his weight back, and deliver the ball with a nice transfer. Nice, clean pocket. If he gets that kind of pocket tonight, it'll be a good night for Kyle Orton.
See over the nose, 76, Chris Hoke, Casey Hampton already out. This is their Wild Horses formation, their version of the Wildcat. Snap to Buckhalter, he gains 5.5, and that is the altitude factor. So Hampton, a starter, is going to have to get his air early on, and his normal defensive tackle bookends are out. Eason and Keisel start because of injuries. We mentioned Harrison already, the Defensive Player of the Year with Lamar Woodley, Farrier, and Kearon Fox starts with the injured Lawrence Timmons. Taylor playing great on the corner, along with Gay. Polamalu healthy again. Tyrone Carter starts for Ryan Clark, not here because of the near-death experience he had playing here a couple of years ago, which we'll detail in a bit. Orton, Royal, third catch on the drive. Gain of 20, first down.
Well, again, it's a play-action pass. They're going to their jumbo tight end with Russ Hochstein in there at tight end. They're sending off signals that they're going to run the ball. The Steelers are getting into an 8-man front, and they are clearly throwing a ball at William Gay to start this game. What an acrobatic catch by Eddie Royal.
And John, William Gay's been thrown at 39 times this season, 27 completed, 69%. I'd be going after him as well.
First down, Buckhalter. Hello, Mr. Woodley. Lamar takes him into the backfield for a loss of about 3 yards. Hey, I mentioned Ryan Clark. I want to detail that story. He's one of the 2.5 million Americans who have the sickle cell trait. That combined with another pre-existing medical condition can cause grave health problems here at altitude. What happened 2 years ago, they played here in Denver. After the game, he had so much pain on the bus ride to the airport, he couldn't fly back with the Steelers. His spleen and gallbladder damage needed to be removed. He lost 30 pounds and didn't play the rest of the season. That's the main reason he is not playing tonight. 2nd and 13, Brandon Marshall a catch. He's tackled by Deshae Townsend. And again, you make it a manageable 3rd down. Guys, just back to Clark, and just to finish that thought, the doctors cleared him to play tonight, saying that the organ, the spleen that he could damage the most is no longer there, so maybe he could play. But there was some uncertainty in Clark's mind, the family, the team. So a week ago Thursday, Mike Tomlin sat down with all the concerned parties and said, hey, he's going to sit this game out. That's why Clark is inactive tonight. And we have Tyrone Carter, 23, starting. Three receivers on 3rd and 6. Here comes the pressure. Orton got rid of it. Deflected and intercepted and dropped. Almost a William Gay pick. Battling in the air along with Royal.
Ike Taylor came on a delayed blitz. Forced Orton to throw the ball just a little bit prematurely. You'll see Ike Taylor, number 24, is right in there. They're going to come off that slot right there in a delayed blitz. He comes off the spot right there, clean at Horton. If you'd have had time, probably would have had a shot to get that ball a little more to the inside.
40-yard field goal attempt. Matt Prater. Opening drive, 3 points for the Broncos, and they take a lead. High energy start. Eddie Royal key on that drive. Denver strikes first.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
Hello, I'm a Mac. And I'm a PC. Hey, Mac, did you hear the good news? Windows 7 is out, and it's not going to have any of the problems my last operating system had. Trust me.
I feel like I've heard this before, PC.
What? Windows Vista's here, and it's not going to have any of the problems that Windows XP had. It's not going to have any of the problems that Windows ME had. It's not going to have any of the problems that Windows 98 had. It's not going to have any of the problems Windows 95 had. It's not going to have any of the problems Windows 2 had. Trust me. This time it's going to be different. Trust me.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood. Bud Light, with the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. 2012, in theaters November 13th, rated PG-13. And Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network.
Glorious day. Temperature in the 60s by day, the 40s here at night. The state capital of Denver. And in the distance, just a little bit away from lower downtown, you see Invesco Field at Mile High. Good opening drive, and usually the altitude we talk about takes an effect on a team early as they get acclimated. A lot of the Steelers told us later on in the game we feel better, but the oxygen mask, you're getting a workout on the Pittsburgh sideline. Stephon Logan, kick returner for Pittsburgh. From 5 yards deep, we'll bring it out. Logan cutting to the inside. He's tackled at the 15-yard line. Garcelle McBath leading the charge with Spencer Larson. Troy Polamalu's disruptive in the secondary. Disrupted his own teammate, William Gay. No interception for the Steelers. Field goal for Denver.
All new ABC Tuesday at 8/7 Central. The #1 new drama has arrived. V will rock you.
We are of peace, always.
ABC's V, all new Tuesday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Those first loggers and their families were tough and
tough wasn't always enough. Living was difficult in those days. Births were difficult. Even minor injuries could bankrupt a family. So to help each other survive, they came up with an innovative idea. Each worker contributed to a community fund. That way, medical costs got to be shared by everyone. That's how Regents began in the Northwest Woods, out of necessity and a sense of responsibility to one another.
Comcast presents a 2012 experience only on demand. See the latest trailers plus scenes from the movie. Go inside the characters and behind the story for clues to how the world will end. See 2012 in theaters November 13th and watch these Comcast exclusives now. The 2012 experience. With On Demand from Comcast, you get entertainment on your terms.
Don't buy a bad game again. With GameFly, choose from over 7,000 titles. Play as long as you want and send them back when you're done. $8.95 to start, no late fees. Gamefly.com. Games delivered. Product shown rated E through M.
Get GameFly's new iPhone app, Game Center, today.
Steelers ready to take over at their own 17. Ben Roethlisberger and company, first drive of the night. Rashard Mendenhall is the back. Second year out of Illinois. Gain of 4 to the 21-yard line. Mr. Roethlisberger, age 27, couple of Super Bowl rings. He's evolved into that elite quarterback and really a pass-happy team these Steelers have become. And Ben's also getting more of the responsibility of what they do play after play.
Yeah, we think of the Steelers as a power running team throughout their history. They certainly have evolved into a passing football team. That coincides with the evolution of Ben Roethlisberger becoming one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL.
And no backs, 5 spread wide. Against a 5-man rush, Roethlisberger to Santonio Holmes. The reigning Super Bowl MVP in front of Champ Bailey for a gain of 9. Working with Ben, we mentioned Mendenhall, who's taken the starting job from Willie Parker. 2 Super Bowl MVPs at receiver, and a rookie, Mike Wallace, who John and Jaws love. Never mind Heath Miller having his best season. Up front, same guys starting all year. And what you love to hear about an offensive line, they're coming together, they're hanging out together. These guys are together on the field, away from the facility. They're gelling. Forget the sack numbers against Roethlisberger. His unit's really coming together.
Crowd noise definitely affecting the Steelers at the line of scrimmage.
Extra tight end David Johnson leads the way from Mendenhall. Behind Chris Kemoeatu's block. Nice gain of about 6. Andre Davis made the tackle. Here are the Broncos on defense. Lakeven Smith is starting tonight with injured Ryan McBean. Group unheralded but solid. Elvis Dumerville, top sackman in the league with Hagan, Davis, and DJ Williams. A holdover from last year's D, like Champ Bailey, who plays the corner with Andre Goodman, Ronaldo Hill, the veteran Brian Dawkins, and Ty Law, who showed up in Denver midnight on Friday. We've been in town longer than him. And he's playing tonight.
You'll see him in the nickel.
Roethlisberger throws over the head of Ward. Incomplete. Third down coming up. The pressure from Dawkins out of the secondary.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers love that bunch formation. They're very good running the football, but here's a pass. Watch Brian Dawkins come off the edge, unaccounted for. You saw Mendenhall come across the formation to get the pickup, but Roethlisberger missed the throw. Watch for Dawkins to blitz 10 to 12 times tonight.
John, we mentioned Ty Law a second ago. He's on the field. 5 defensive backs. He's wearing number 26. His old 24 is used here by Champ Bailey.
And he'll match up against Hines Ward in the slot.
3rd and 4, Roethlisberger. Law had a hold of Ward's jersey. Ben in trouble and sacked. Darrell Reed joins Dumerville. 4th down.
That is a coverage sack. What an excellent job by the Denver Broncos. Take a look at Ty Law. You have Champ Bailey. You got all these veteran defenders, and they're going to cover up these wide receivers with help over the top. There's just nowhere to go with the football, and the coverage holds long enough for the rush to get the Roethlisberger. That's a great get-off down for the Broncos.
Man-to-man coverage. What a terrific job. Almost got to Daniel Sepulveda's kick and impacted it. The bounce will help him out. It'll be a much bigger kick than that. Now they're trying to push Eddie Royal into the ball to try to get him to touch it, and the Steelers to get a recovery. But it is Pittsburgh downing it at the 18. 55 on the kick. They get to Roethlisberger and a half sack to Doomerville, joined by Reed.
How can rice production in India affect wheat output in the U.S., the shipping industry in Norway, and the rubber industry in South America? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason 80% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and more information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Does your phone surf the web? Does your phone surf the web with the speed and power of a pro surfer at Pipeline? Does it bring you the web in all its glory, in all its intended pixels, allowing you to reach the farthest expanses of its universe, deepest depths of its oceans, without getting as much as a grain of sand in your shorts? Droid does. Wave shredding web speed. In a world of doesn't, Droid does.
Hey, Jimmy Football here. What's missing from your tailgate party? Tail. Well, not anymore. With the Bud Light Tailgate Companion, now the goods come to you. We didn't make your dog. We just made your dog better.
Now when I want ketchup on my dog, I just call my dog. Thanks, dog.
Thanks, Bud Light.
It's the Bud Light Tailgate Companion, and it's tailgate approved.
NFL Play 60. At least 60 minutes of exercise every day. Join the movement at NFLRush.com.
One drive apiece, field goal for the Broncos, one first down and a punt for the Steelers, and Denver will take over at its own 18. And John, you mentioned this earlier a couple of times, again with Russ Hochstein, the offensive lineman, 71, reporting as an eligible receiver. Package they've shown a lot thus far this season, but have usually run out of it. And again, it's a first down, play action out of it to Brandon Marshall, who's wearing construction barrels for shoes tonight. First down at the 33.
Well, Josh McDaniels is using his whole playbook tonight. He's using a heavy formation with Russ Hochstein in there at tight end. They come out with the wild horse formation with Moreno at quarterback, and then they come back with a standard shotgun formation. They are given an array of personnel groupings and formation to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they have them off balance right now.
A bit of a chess match with McDaniels, 33. Dick LeBeau, 72-year-old defensive coordinator for the Steelers. Orton to Marshall again at the 37-yard line. John, I'll come back to you on that. That's a lot of your scripting. When we talk about scripting the first 15 plays, you get that variation of formations in there as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You set some things up for later in the game, and you give the Steelers some things they can't possibly prepare for because they haven't seen it. But we have not seen Tony Scheffler, the outstanding Bronco tight end, yet. Maybe they're saving him for the second half, Jaws.
Well, Daniel Graham is a much better blocker. And once again, they're going with that heavy step with Hochstein over on the right. The heavy set with Daniel Graham next to him, and they run in that direction.
Moreno tries to carry, and a rare loss of yardage on a Bronco rush as Farrier and Polamalu got on the other side of the line.
Well, that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers do on defense. Their captain is James Farrier. He leads the Steelers in tackles far and away with 59. He ran through there, shot a gap, and he gets help from his all-pro safety, Polamalu. But that guy Farrier is just a type A personality, and he is not in a good mood when he arrives. He'll hit you.
It changes it to 3rd and 8. Who's the defensive lineman here, huh? One hand on the ground, Nick Keisel. Orton to Marshall. Got it. First down.
The offensive line for the Denver Broncos is doing a terrific job with identifying which Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come. You'll see Orton once again, a wonderful pocket to throw from. He's got Brandon Marshall coming over the middle. Watch, you'll see the stacked release. That gives a little cushion for Marshall to release on Troy Polamalu and get the first down for the Denver Broncos. Right now, the Denver Broncos are dictating the terms of how this game is going to be played.
From the 44, Orton, caught by Jabbar Gaffney. He gains about 3 yards as the Steelers converge on him. Ke'Aaron Fox and William Gay with the tackles.
You know, this left tackle for the Denver Broncos, Ryan Clady, is such an athlete. On a quick pass, you have to cut down the edge. And that's an excellent job by a big, agile offensive lineman throwing his body down to knock Harrison's hands down to create that passing lane. That guy's special. This Clady is unbelievable in terms of it being an athlete for a big guy.
And he's looking at a pretty incredible player right across from all night, too, at James Harrison. Fun matchup to watch.
2nd and 7, pressure up the middle, getting rid of it, but incomplete. A hair behind Eddie Royal as the pressure from Farrier shooting through the A-gap.
Well, here's a Dick LeBeau special. It's a cross-dog blitz. These 2 linebackers are going to come on different sides of the center. And the Broncos don't quite execute the switch. They don't let Kyle Orton set his feet. But here comes Fox and Farrier. They'll blitz 2 or 3 or all of these linebackers from everywhere on the field. Denver's got to be more flush there.
Yeah, and Orton had time. If Orton had time, he would have had a completion. He had to rush the throw because Farrier came in clean.
We just converted 3rd and 8. This is 3rd and 7. Orton to Marshall. Couldn't get out of the tackle of Ike Taylor, who's having a Pro Bowl caliber first half of the season. 4th down, and they'll punt.
Not really. Josh McDaniels is holding. Now he's going to send the punt team out.
Well, it's 2 deep, man under. The throw is tight. Brandon Marshall and Ike Taylor having a one-on-one battle. It's a well-thrown pass. Don't underestimate Ike Taylor as a tackling corner either. That's a fine football player. He's done it for a long time for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And he will line up on the offense's best wide receiver and shadow him all day.
They brought in Mitch Berger during the bye week to be the punter here. Trying to get better directional kicking. And the former Colorado Buff. See, he pull it off there? No. Touchback. And Pittsburgh will take over from the 20-yard line. Second drive coming for the Steelers. We'll see if they can get Super Bowl 40 MVP Hines Ward in the passing game going. Trailing Denver 3-0.
Man, Dez, I can't believe you actually did it. But that is kind of a sweet cape.
So, what's your superpower?
Looking fly.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
I'm a traveling nurse, and Riley here is my therapy dog. And I got a Toyota RAV4 because I can trust it. Driving to my patients, I cover hundreds of thousands of miles, but I've never let them down because my RAV4 has never let me down.
Get something you can trust, like the Toyota RAV4. And now you can lease a new 2010 RAV4 for just $219 a month. To learn more, visit your local Toyota dealer.
Freescore.com gives me unlimited access to the 3 major credit reports and scores. Freescore.
Second drive for the Steelers. They had 1 first down on the last one. Roethlisberger to Mendenhall up the middle for 2.5 yards. Guys, what happened at the end of the last series?
Well, Ben Roethlisberger had time in the pocket. And we're going to put the old clock on Ben Roethlisberger here. You see him standing tall in the pocket, looking. No one. Now, look at this. Everyone is blanketed for almost 4.5 seconds. Now, look at how everyone is shadowed almost 6 seconds.
How about bringing in Ty Law? He just got here Saturday to cover Hines Ward in this altitude. 35 years old. He's never even played the nickelback position. What a performance by Ty Law.
Empty backfield, Mendenhall in the slot. Law covering Ward again. Four rushing. Ben looking. Incomplete for the rookie Mike Wallace. Now you guys brought up Ty Law and Ty Law being here. Remember, he did this last year. Set out essentially the first half of the season. Then that Thursday night mega game, Jets at Patriots, he goes out for the Jets against his old team and covers Randy Moss. He comes here trying to do the same thing, kept himself in shape, and now he's going to try to cover Hines Ward.
Yeah, a little bit different staying in shape than having to run around the field with Hines Ward all evening. That's pretty tough duty, but he started off with an outstanding coverage on him.
Got it off in time. Roethlisberger finds a seam to Holmes. Settled in that zone to the 39. A first down gain of 60.
Well, here comes the Denver Broncos. Mike Nolan, he has a lot of blitzes in his pocket, too. There's that double-A blitz. It's going around the NFL, and the Steelers have the perfect slide protection called. They give Big Ben time to step up in the pocket, and he delivers a shot. Good pickup by Pittsburgh.
Make it sound like it's the H1N1. Double A, H1N1 are all going around.
Go around.
Use your hand sanitizer and pick up the linebackers.
Copycat league.
First and 10, deep drop. Roethlisberger in trouble. Goes down. Second sack. Linebacker combo clatter. Andre Davis, DJ Williams.
Take a look at Denver this time. They're going to cover up every one of these Pittsburgh Steeler offensive linemen. Take a look at this. Every offensive lineman is going to have a single block. And Roethlisberger drops back to pass. Here comes Andre Davis on a delayed blitz. And DJ Williams is still an excellent pass rusher. And they are playing with effort tonight, Jaws.
And also great discipline. They're staying in their lanes, not giving Ben somewhere to escape the pocket.
Second and 18, twisting rush. Ben steps up and gets it to Mendenhall in the open field. Brought down by Woodyard, Wesley Woodyard. The linebacker gets most of the sack yardage back. We'll have third down now. We're talking about Roethlisberger and being sacked. It has become a common theme for Ben and the Steelers over the last few years. Sacked 214 times. It's the most in the league over the last 5 seasons. Poor David Carr, the poster boy for quarterback sacks, hasn't played in a couple of years. He's still up there. But still, Roethlisberger has been successful. Something that he brings on himself with his scrambling, tough to bring down, keeping plays alive. You want the home runs, you got to take the strikeouts, I guess. Third and 9, 5 in the pattern. Roethlisberger, incomplete. Looking for the rookie Wallace, covered by Andre Goodman. A punt coming up.
When the Denver Broncos get you in third down and 10, they get off the field. The Broncos have seen Carson Palmer. They've seen Tom Brady. They've seen Rivers. They cover you, Jaws. They have a number of talented guys in the secondary, and opposing quarterbacks are 1 out of 29 on third down and 10. That's how good this secondary is.
Fans chant Eddie as Royal catches a 43-yard punt. Returns it just shy of the 25-yard line as the opening quarter comes to a close here in Denver. Only a Bronco field goal in the opening drive. After one, Denver 3, Pittsburgh nothing.
To all the troops at home and abroad, we at the Broncos thank you for everything you do for us and wish you a happy Veterans Day.
On behalf of my teammates and my family, I would like to tell the troops across seas and in the States, thank you. You are the true heroes. Your job is definitely appreciated, and keep it up, and happy Veterans Day.
And we echo the sentiments of Champ Bailey, Josh McDaniels. The Broncos will hear from the Steelers later on. It's a very special day, Wednesday, Veterans Day, and we all salute and tip our cap to the women and men who serve our country, have and do now. Quarter begins with a Carell Buckhalter run, just shy of the 30. Good first down carry. Broncos leading here 3-0. John and John, we talk about Josh McDaniels. There's a familiarity with going up against Pittsburgh over the years in Dick LeBeau's defense.
Yeah, and I remember that game back in 2002, you may recollect. The New England Patriots and Josh McDaniels was on that staff. They came out with like 25 straight passes to start the game. To start this game, it was 11 passes and only 4 runs. You know, sometimes you can take a different approach and be aggressive. Josh McDaniels so far tonight has taken that approach.
Extra lineman again, Hochstein, as they block for Buckhalter and Carell carries for a couple of yards. John, you've experienced this, that going up against the Steelers, it's not like it's anything different. They just keep doing it well. So how much of an advantage is that for McDaniels?
The Steelers are so good and so physical. That's why they don't change. They're relentless. But Josh has had experience going against the Steelers, not only with Tom Brady, but last year with a young quarterback, things didn't work out so well either.
That's right.
I don't hear anybody talking about last night's game. Pittsburgh shelled New England at New England.
That's right. We didn't hear about the Matt Castle performance, a dominant performance by the Steelers.
There's that Steelers creep defense again, only one D line with his hand on the ground.
3rd and 3, and Orton throws complete to Royal for the 4th time tonight. First down.
I got to tell you, Kyle Orton right now is razor sharp. Outstanding anticipation of this throw. That back foot hits the ground, and he sticks this one in there. The only place to put the football down low where Eddie Royal could make the catch. You could see Kyle Orton feeling very comfortable tonight. Uh-oh, here he is lining up out wide.
Yeah, they're wild horses formation. He sometimes does just this. Motions back. To take the shotgun snap. Oh, intercepted by Tyrone Carter. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Just as I'm saying wonderful things about Kyle Orton, who's always been very careful with the football, he makes an errant throw. He steps up in the pocket. He never sets his feet. The ball sails on him. Interception. Tyrone Carter. Touchdown, Steelers.
Well, take a look at it. It's a maximum protection. Orton's going to drop back to pass. He's laid down the middle. Never saw him. And Tyrone Carter, remember, this guy filled in for Troy Polamalu earlier in the season when he's hurt. Now he fills in for Ryan Clark. That guy's a football player, but you cannot turn the ball over against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will make you pay.
Just a poor throw from Kyle Orton. That's simple.
Jeff Reed on for the extra point. It is good. A 48-yard interception return by Carter, who's playing for Ryan Clark, who's out tonight. Orton has one other interception this year, but that was on a Hail Mary. That's the first real pick that he's thrown, and it turns into this first Steeler lead tonight.
Join Boomer and the gang for Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Is Dad really dead?
The one they lost.
He was my brother. I cut my throat to bring him back.
Sam.
Has just come back.
We thought you were dead. I don't know what he's gonna do.
What's going on in your head? You're my brother. You gotta tell me. Did you sleep with her?
Sam.
This is a family matter! You know what I did to get back to you? You know what I've done?
Brothers. Rated R. In theaters December 4th.
My face takes enough abuse. That's why I use Gillette Fusion for my sensitive skin. Fusion has 5 blades with an anti-friction coating that flow comfortably, so my skin looks and feels great. Until next Sunday, Fusion, proven performance even on sensitive skin.
For the first time in history, more people live in cities than anywhere else.
Which means cities have to get smarter.
New York has smart crime fighting.
Paris has smart healthcare.
Smart traffic systems in Brisbane keep traffic moving.
Galway has smart water.
Smart meters in Dallas, Houston, and the smart grid in Copenhagen keep energy flowing.
Smart ideas are happening
all over the world.
I want to bring them all together in your city.
The smart of Paris.
The smart of Stuttgart.
São Paulo.
Copenhagen.
Kyoto.
Planet of smarter cities.
That's what I'm working on.
I'm an IBMer.
Let's build a smarter planet.
That was the way to start your NFL Sunday for many years. The NFL Today on CBS, Jimmy the Greek Snyder, very popular on that show. He was, in some ways, a huge impact on the growth of sports gambling, and then there was a tragic downfall of the Greek. It's the latest in our 30 for 30 series, and it comes your way Tomorrow night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Steelers taking the 7-3 lead on the interception return by Tyrone Carter. Remember, Pittsburgh comes off the bye week, and their last game was against Minnesota. And the last 2 scores of that game were defensive scores. So the last 3 touchdowns the Steelers have scored have been via the defense. Lamar Woodley, Ke'Aaron Fox, and now Carter. Kenny McKinley brings this kickoff back for the Broncos. And he's down at the 21 by Arnold Harrison, covering special teams. So Horton throws the pick, comes back on the field as his team trails for the first time tonight.
Lady, get out!
Hey, lady. This is no time to play. I'm picking a photo for my Capital One credit card. Old man Sutter? Why would I put his picture on my card?
The official vehicle of the NFL. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Star Trek. Own the biggest and best reviewed movie of the year on DVD and Blu-ray Tuesday, November 17th. And Hanes. Look who we've got our Hanes on now.
So the motif of the horses here in the home of the Broncos. The wild horses formation didn't really work too well there. Turned into an interception and a touchdown, and right back to it, where Buckhalter or Moreno, in this case Moreno, looks for the direct snap, and then Orton comes in from the slot. And they'll run it with Moreno for 4 to the 25-yard line. Go back to that interception.
You know, one of the things these Steelers do, when they bring both of these outside linebackers, the nose guard is responsible for the back on a check down. And take a look at Chris Hoke peel out of there and find the check down. Unbelievable Dick LeBeau, isn't he? Who has a nose guard peel out of there to cover a check down, and it screws up the timing of a play?
A lot of people have it, but very few execute it like the Steelers.
Orton holds on too long. Brought down. Brett Keisel in with the sack. And again, you're seeing some of these somewhat anonymous but high-impact defensive linemen. Hoke, Keisel making plays for Pittsburgh.
And you'll see right here the pressure from the outside. James Harrison man-to-man, just power, strong. And then you see Keisel come back to the inside. Harrison forced Orton to step up, and there's Keisel waiting for him.
It's up 3rd and 10. Look at the Steelers. One hand on the ground. They bring 5. Orton has time. Has Marshall. Great move. First down, Brandon. Polamalu chased him across the field. Down at the 36. A gain of 15.
Well, this is a blitz. 3rd down and 10. You're going to get a 5-man blitz, and there's going to be a defender short underneath. And that's what you have to do, is get rid of the ball quickly and rally after the catch. There's not a lot of places to throw the football against Pittsburgh, but if you can run with it after the catch, you got a chance to make some mileage.
And how about the effort from Troy Polamalu coming back inside to make the tackle when it looked like Marshall had some room.
From the 36, Noshawn Moreno into the waiting arms of Ke'Aaron Fox for a loss of a yard. Guys, Brandon Marshall's season high in receptions is 8 against New England in the overtime victory the Broncos had here. He already has 6 tonight, and that's typical. The last couple of years, he had over 100 receptions each year. Thrown to a lot more, and obviously more receptions. Numbers down a little bit first part of the season.
Yeah, but you've got to get him the football. It's that simple. When you have a player like him, and I call him the beast, at 6'4", 230 pounds, he can make plays. He's the explosive playmaker on that Broncos offense. Get him the football. Find a way.
Orton finds space, finds Gaffney. Gets a couple of yards. Ike Taylor with the tackle. A 3rd down coming up for Denver.
You know, talking to James Ferrier last night, he was most concerned with Kyle Orton's ability to work this intermediate passing game. And so far, Orton has completed a high percentage, but he hasn't had time to find those complementary receivers. In Pittsburgh, when they get a feel for this Denver offense, you watch. Go get after it.
It's hard to get a feel. They're using a lot of formation variations, a lot of different personnel packages. Josh McDaniels is really mixing it up.
Nothing yet to the tight ends. Here's Orton throwing complete on cue to the tight end, Daniel Graham. First down at the 44.
Boy, Mike, you can really read a coverage.
Yeah,
You know right when to go to that tight end.
Gain of 18.
That's a great job by Kyle Orton. I said the Steelers were going to heat him up. Here they come. Off the left side of the screen, Orton gets hit right in the chops as he throws this ball. What great location. They don't have it accounted for, but Orton knew exactly where the hot receiver was. That's an excellent play by a quarterback.
You know, John, you were talking about James Ferrier, worried about the intermediate area for the Denver Broncos. Right now, 1 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, 9 for 9 as Kyle Orton is working that intermediate area very well.
There's some movement there. This will be the first penalty of the night. Don Carey's our referee. We can't hear his mic, but the lip readers know it was 71. Russ Hookstein with the flag. Well, how has Kyle Orton distributed the ball for his 13 to 16? You see so much of it, as has become, really, if you watch the Broncos, that seems like where they throw all those balls, 0 to 15 yards.
And a lot of it is that's the design of this offense. It's a quick passing game. You know, that's an area where Orton is very efficient and accurate. Those slants, those hitches, and things back to the inside in the intermediate area.
First and 15, play action pass through the hands of Marshall. His shot was on target, but incomplete.
You know, Denver likes to run a lot of traps with Daniel Graham, whamming the nose guard, or cutting off the backside. And clearly, they are running a lot of different play action passes with that type of motion on early downs, Ron.
Casey Hampton probably going for some oxygen once again. This altitude will affect those big defensive linemen.
The defense has been out a lot. This is the 27th play for the Broncos here tonight. And it's Marshall. Polamalu was blocked on the side by Clady, the tackle, and gave Marshall room to make it a third and manageable.
This is becoming a very popular play in the NFL. These bubble screens, these quick screens. Get the ball out to your wide receivers in space. You'll see the quick fake, draw the rush from the linebacker on the outside, and get big bodies. Offensive lineman Ryan Clady out, kicking out a smaller defensive back. Now you create a seam for Brandon Marshall, and that's a big fella running up inside at 230 pounds.
Stokely, Gaffney, and Marshall, the three receivers on 35. Orton makes a second declaration, takes the pressure, delivers to Gaffney, didn't come down with it. Let's see. Will this be incomplete? Yes, incomplete pass. It'll be fourth down. He had it. Going to the sideline, Josh McDaniels wants to get a look at it to see if it's a challengeable play or not. Well, he does go down to the ground and does go down to the ground without maintaining possession of the ball.
Therefore incomplete. But what a nice play by William Gay.
He's going to challenge,
stripping the ball.
It's interesting because the ball's knocked out before he goes down to the ground. So the ground is not the causing agent. But usually once you go down without possession, it's incomplete pass. So we'll see. Halfway through this quarter, the Steelers have only run 11 plays in a quarter and a half, but they lead by 4.
The receiver was going to the ground and did not maintain possession. Denver is charged with their first timeout. It will be fourth down.
And the reason it's confirmed is because the contact was made before the second foot came down. That's the key to that. And when you hear it's confirmed, that means looking at replay, the way we called it on the field was right. So now it's 4th and 5, and apparently the Broncos will line up to go for it. First, they're going to reset the game clock. That's why we'll stop it for a second.
Might try to draw them off sides with a hard count right here. If I were Pittsburgh, I'd be alert for that.
Well, they will go for it here on 4th and 5, and Orton completes it to Stokely for the first down at the 31, but a penalty marker's down, and it looked like there may be a hold on the pressure of the quarterback. Let's listen to Don Carey.
Hold it. Offense. Number 50. 10-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
And now they'll punt it away. Ben Hamilton, the guard, called for the hold.
Well, Ben Hamilton has struggled here early in the game. Here he is, one-on-one blocking against James Harrison. You can't do that, Jaws.
I've seen a lot worse not called, I'll tell you that. The ball was out quickly, but it was called.
So Mitch Berger will come out and punt it away. Part of the reason Berger was brought on to replace Brett Kern was his ability to kick it out of bounds, situational, directional kicking. He didn't do a good job on the first one. Didn't pin the Steelers inside the 20. This one goes out, but not anywhere near as deep as he had hoped. They're going to mark it at the 20-yard line, maybe even farther up. Yeah, they will. So that'll only turn out to be a 27-yard punt by Berger. There's the hold by Hamilton on Harrison, negating the first down.
Oh, hey, glad I caught you. I was on my way to present ideas about all the discounts we're offering. I've got some catchphrases that'll make these savings even more memorable.
All right. Good driver discounts. Now that's the stuff.
How about this?
They're the bee's knees.
Or this?
Sir, how about just 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance?
Yeah. Good luck with that catching on.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When the flu hits you hard, hit right back with Theraflu Warming Relief. Nothing fights your worst flu symptoms with more power. Theraflu. Good to be back.
It plays. It stows. It slides. It saves. It sees. It rolls. And it's all standard. We gave it more ideas per square inch because more is what we do. Introducing the Terrain, the all-new smaller SUV from GMC.
It's the Up Blu-ray Combo Pack.
Yes! Hey! Hey!
You get 3 ways to watch the movie for one low price.
I hate squirrels!
A great value.
Oh boy!
Disney Pixar's Up Blu-ray Combo Pack November 10.
With the losses mounting, the pressure's on for Charlie Weiss and Notre Dame to get a win against 12th-ranked Pitt. Saturday Night Football on ABC. Notre Dame Pitt or Texas Tech Oklahoma State. Saturday at 8 Eastern. College football lives here.
Well, Pittsburgh will take over at its own 23, and we have not seen much of Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense through the first quarter and a half. It's been controlled by a couple of long Denver drives, only with 3 points to show for it. Steelers getting their score, if you're just joining us, on a Tyrone Carter interception return for touchdown. Rashard Mendenhall, a cutback by Mendenhall. Brian Dawkins tackles him after a gain of about 5 yards for Mendenhall. So this is difficult, I would imagine, for play callers, quarterback. You've worked all week for this game plan. You've only run 11 plays in a quarter and a half.
Yeah, it's hard. That's football, though. I'll say this, the Pittsburgh Steelers love to run the ball to the right. You just saw it there. You're going to see it again repeatedly as this game unfolds.
Broncos were trying to get a motion call on the Steelers. Did not. Mendenhall runs for 3 before 3rd and 2. SportsCenter right now, Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thanks very much. On the day he was supposed to come back from a team suspension, the Chiefs instead released 2-time Pro Bowl running back Larry Johnson, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry in the disappointing 2009 campaign. And the campaign for LeGarrette Blount will continue. The Oregon running back reinstated after missing 8 games because of that punch in the season opener. Back to the Monday Night Crew. Michael.
Okay, Trey, thank you. 3rd and 2 here for the Steelers. And this is an area where the Broncos defense has been very stingy on these 3rd downs. Roethlisberger, complete to the rookie Mike Wallace. First down at the 42-yard line.
When the Pittsburgh Steelers get into this bunch formation, and you see Mike Wallace playing as the outside guy in the bunch, you can bet your life they're going to throw him the ball. This guy is a rocket ship, man. He comes flying out of there at 4.3 speed. When you see that bunch formation with number 17 on the outside, I'd make a red alert on my sideline sheet.
There you go. And when Hines Ward is there, it's your running play.
To the 42, Mendenhall. Gains 3 to the 45. You guys mentioned Mike Wallace. Back to him for a second. That was one offensive concern for the Steelers coming into this year. Had he replaced Nate Washington, 40 catches last year, went to Tennessee in free agency. Well, this guy, third-round pick out of Ole Miss, has really come on strong. 22 catches already this season.
They haven't had a rookie come in here and do that since Lewis Lips. Mike Tomlin said they needed a guy that can blow the top off of the coverage, and clearly Mike Wallace is that guy.
There's Ward over there, that trips formation on the right side. And we get a whistle. First flag against Pittsburgh tonight.
Full start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
Right guard, Trey Essex.
Mike, I remember in the preseason, we went to Latrobe, spent some time out at training camp with the Steelers, and you stand along the sideline and you see guys running, all of a sudden, who is that number 17? Who is that guy? I mean, you can just see this guy flash and see the speed he had, and not surprising that he's having this kind of success.
Remember, Linus Swede out of Texas, their second-round pick from 08, was supposed to be that third receiver. That hasn't worked out. Swede didn't do it when he got the chance. Wallace has. No flag. Ward will gain only 3 yards. The open field tackle by Ronaldo Hill. The safety who came over from the Dolphins this offseason.
That Hines Ward, he's a personal favorite of mine. I think that's 170 games now in a row where that guy's caught a football. But when you look at a guy that can lead his team 10 years in a row in receiving, that is rare. And Ward is still the most physical wide receiver in the game. He will block you. He will fight you until the end.
And right now, the Broncos are challenging those wide receivers in their face, bump, man-to-man.
Third and 9, 6 coming Roethlisberger. Woodyard got a hand on him. Miller is hit by Vonnie Holiday. No gain. Fourth down.
This has been a very impressive performance by the Denver Broncos secondary. They are manning up, and they are saying, hey, this is going to be, I'm going to shut you down man on man. Here comes the pressure from the outside. You'll see that pressure getting to Ben Roethlisberger. He just has to flick the ball away to avoid the sack. Steelers have to punt.
And it's the lefty, Sepulveda. Royal fair catches a 41-yarder, and Denver will take over at its own 15. Kyle Orton and Brandon Marshall, the pass connections hooked up 7 times already tonight. See if they can take the Broncos to the end zone when you come back.
In 1873, Coors Banquet was shipped by stage to places like Durango, Leadville, and Cripple Creek. Thirsty miners demanded a beer made with the best high country barley and only Rocky Mountain water. Today, our beer is shipped by rail to places like Memphis, Buffalo, and Sacramento. But one thing hasn't changed. Folks still demand a banquet. Coors, the banquet beer.
The chances of making it into the NFL are over 1,000,000 to 1.
With the 23rd pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Michael Orr.
But how he got there
You have any place to stay tonight?
defied all odds.
Most kids from bad situations can't wait to be violent. He acts like he doesn't want to hit anyone.
Sandra Bullock,
You protect his blind side. His team is your family, Michael.
based on the incredible true story. Wow. The Blind Side. Rated PG-13. Starts November 20th.
Just a quick heartfelt message to our troops that are serving our great nation in the Middle East. We appreciate the blanket of protection that you guys provide, the sacrifices that you make. It is not underappreciated. We really respect and admire what it is that you're doing.
Well, Mike Tomlin adding the sentiments of everyone involved to our veterans, especially those who are watching on Armed Forces TV and radio. You know, a lot of the troops, this is their connection to home. Watching football, any of the sports, converse about things at home, just that little taste of it. It's our pleasure to be a small part of your day because you're such a huge part of what we do every day. Our blessings and wishes to you all. From the 16, Buckhalter's the back as the Broncos take over down 4. And Corral turns the corner and gains about 5 or 6 yards. John, when you went overseas, we saw it before the break there with some other NFL coaches. How many terrible towels did you see?
That was unbelievable. We had such a great time. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. That guy, Bill Cowher, speaking of the Steelers, I have never seen more terrible towels than I saw over there in Iraq. And Bill Cowher, he represented the Steeler Nation well. We had a blast. I miss those troops. I made a lot of good friends over there.
Well, you guys are great for doing that. We appreciate it. Thanks, Coach, and all the other guys that went over there with you. Special.
2nd and 4. No Sean Moreno runs left. Yards shy of the first down. We haven't had a rushing first down in the game. So that was you, Tom Coughlin from the Giants, Bill Cowher, Jeff Fisher, and John Harbaugh from the Ravens, right?
Yeah, we shared the same room. We had one toilet. We had one shower. I had the top bunk. Bill Cowher was on the bottom bunk. But seriously, let's not just celebrate our military tonight or tomorrow or the next day. Let's celebrate.
The Sierra Crew Cab doesn't just offer more horsepower, more towing, more payload, and more torque than Ram or Tundra. Sierra offers a locking rear differential, which locks when Ram and Tundra's limited slip slips. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. The 2010 GMC Sierra. May the best truck win.
Mobsters do it with muscle. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.
Xbox 360, starting at $199.
Wee Man does it dangerously. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.
Chosen one, huh?
And well-played first half. Only 3 penalties combined with the two teams. The lone turnover of the game is the only touchdown. An interception by Tyrone Carter early second quarter, giving Pittsburgh a 7-3 lead. 3rd and 1 for the Broncos. With Hochstein, the offensive lineman, leading the play fake, and Marshall in the middle of the field for a first down at the 42-yard line, a pickup of 15.
That's exactly what you do when you're struggling offensively. Try to get a big explosive play on a play action in short yardage.
Well, especially in 3rd and 1, that's an area Denver has struggled, but they slammed everybody up in there on a play pass. All the linebackers bit, and there's nobody there for the slant to Brandon Marshall.
8 catches for Marshall, ties the season high. Orton can't get away from Keisel. And a lot of Steelers meet him for a sack and a loss of 3.
This Keisel, he's an all-day, every-down NFL football player. He plays hard. He keeps coming off the left side. I don't think anybody outside of Pittsburgh knows who he is. But Brett Keisel is a football player, and he brings it.
I can tell you this, in the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks, he was a dominant football player. There are people that know how good he is, John.
2nd and 12, they try to screen it to Buckhalter. He's stopped by Polamalu, loss of a yard. Let's see if Josh McDaniels uses one of his 2 timeouts here. Didn't use it before. Steelers have their full complement of timeouts. They choose not to use one either.
Surprising.
I wonder why. This is 3rd and 13 with just 25 seconds left in the half, and they're going to run it here with Buckhalter. Tackled by Woodley, and now the Steelers certainly would take a timeout as the fans here unhappy with the play calling by McDaniels and the Broncos. So 18 seconds left. Denver's going to punt it to Pittsburgh. The Steelers will get it with 2 timeouts.
Oh, hey, Adam.
Hey.
Kick your hunger with Adam Nugateri.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Bob. What's up?
Oh, I just talked to someone at Fidelity about saving for my kids' college.
Huh. What's this?
Well, that's how I'm going to get there. It's guidance.
Oh, so maybe I should follow it, too.
No, it doesn't work that way, Pete. You see, this is my own personalized plan. You got to get one that's right for you.
Okay, but I can still walk along it while we talk, right?
Yeah, come on.
Whatever your destination, Fidelity has the people, guidance, and investments to help you find your way. Fidelity Investments. Turn here.
Wake up, people. We can't keep filling our tanks with oil from overseas and expect our economy to get any better. We need our own fuel, and we need it here. And I was reading in the paper that we have a 100-year supply of natural gas that keeps growing. Straight up, that was my eureka moment.
America's new natural gas. Cleaner, smarter energy. Discover more at newnaturalgas.org.
Back for a limited time at Chili's. 3 courses, 2 people, $20. Start with a shared appetizer. Choose 2 entrees from over 15 Chili's favorites, like our new better than ever baby back ribs. Then share a dessert. Chili's. 3 courses, 2 people, $20.
After maybe the fastest first half of the year, it's the fastest 3 minutes with Chris Berman on the Toyota Halftime Show. The shakeup in the NFC's Cowboys to the top. The Giants have lost 4 in a row. And the stars of the National Football League will add their voices in salute to our troops as we continue our entire week honoring our heroes. As a matter of fact, Mike and Mike show tomorrow morning from New York, from the new ship, the new USS New York. So that's all coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show. Stefan and Logan back. Do you guys have any idea why neither coach called the timeout?
I have no idea, but I certainly wouldn't have in that situation. I'd have tried to convert that 3rd down. You're at the 45-yard line, one little trapped inside. I'd have thrown it down the field.
I'm surprised Mike Tomlin didn't take one before 3rd down. In any case, here's Berger. He goes down trying to draw a flag, doesn't get it. Logan fair catch at the 16-yard line. Yes, he does get it. The flag's under him. He did get the flag. It was under Berger as Joe Burnett came in. 5 or 15 is the question now. Do they run into him or rough him?
Either way, it's a bad penalty with 18 seconds left in a half.
That could be roughing there. That leg was extended. He took him down.
Pushed in by McBath. See what Don Carey has here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Running into the kicker, that penalty is declined. Holding, receiving team, number 14, that penalty is accepted. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Pittsburgh.
The reason that it's 1st down Pittsburgh, the holding is a post-kick foul, so it doesn't impact the Broncos picking up a 1st down. Running into the kicker is 5, not 15. The 5 would have only made it 4th down and about 4 yards to go. The hold was on Lima Swede, 14. And there it is, on Kenny McKinley, the gunner.
One of the things that always drove me crazy was I never understood what the difference was in roughing the punter and running into the kicker. The referee says, hey, you ran into the kicker. I said, well, what's the difference if you run into my kicker at 15 yards? But the Steelers dodged a bullet right there.
Yeah, I mean, you almost broke the leg of Mitch Berger on that one. I guess that's only running into him, not roughing him.
Ben will probably just take a knee here. And
it's an 18-play half for their offense.
Awful quiet.
It sure has been. Steelers only had the ball 4 times, 3 full possessions where they had 1 first down and a punt each time, and that kneeled down. Pittsburgh will get the ball to start the third quarter. The only score, Tyrone Carter's 48-yard interception, pick 6. At the break, the Super Bowl champs lead the AFC West leaders 7-3. Here's Chris Berman in the Toyota halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. And so defense rules. And if you were with us on Monday Night Countdown, hello once again, everybody, you saw a treat. The NFL Today gang from yesteryear at CBS with Brandon, Irv, and Phyllis. And Irv Cross said, well, in handicapping this game, defense. Steel curtain, orange crush. Maybe nothing's changed after all. Well, here we are November the 9th, and we still have a pair of teams undefeated at 8-0. Now, the last time 2 teams made it this far undefeated, you might remember, 1990. The Mighty Niners and the Mighty Giants each went 10-0, then lost, then played an epic Monday night game at Candlestick, won by San Francisco 7-3. They, of course, would meet again in another epic battle for the NFC title on the same field. Giants, 5 field goals, won 15-13 en route to their Super Bowl win. Now, who knows what's in store for the Saints and the Colts? So far, so good. Here we go with the fastest 3 minutes, and here come the Saints. But Carolina had other ideas. D'Angelo Williams, 66 yards, second play of the game. Carolina led early by 14. But here comes New Orleans. The high-flying offense, Drew Brees, Robert Meacham, 54 yards. And then the defense finishes off what the offense doesn't do for the 7th time. The defense scores. Anthony Hargrove, the fumble recovery, 30-20, the Saints. They're 8-0. Peyton Manning and the Colts, could they stay unbeaten? Joseph live and let it die. Touchdown against Houston. But the Texans come roaring back. Matt Schaub, Ryan Moats, touchdown. Big play Colts defense. Gary Brackett, the veteran, the hit. Clint Session almost ends the session with a pick, but it wasn't ended till Chris Brown missed a 42-yarder. Gary Kubiak's team lose a heartbreaker, 20-17. Jim Caldwell, 8-0, the only rookie coach ever better. 1961, champion Oilers, Wally left. That's George Blanda with him. Tom Brady and the Patriots looking to beat Miami. And he has Randy Moss. Oh, yeah, look, Ma, one hand. The Wildcat, Pat White, flip to Ricky Williams. Dolphins with the lead at Foxborough. But in the end, Brady, Moss, get out of here with the stiff arm. Good, go all the way. 71 yards, the Patriots, 6-2. The other East, NFC East, Donovan McNabb to Brent Selleck. Higgins is his way for a touchdown. But Tony Romo, the only catch of Miles Austin, the backbreaker, 49 yards. How about them Cowboys? They're 6-2 for Coach Wade Phillips. Big win. Remember, these 2 guys were traded for each other. Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. Manning to Kevin Boss. Giants lead the Chargers. But an 80-yard drive, 21 seconds ago, Rivers, Vincent Jackson, Bolts, 21-20. Cedric Benson on Broadway. 100 yards, 2 games for Cincinnati against Baltimore. Carson Palmer, Andre Caldwell, first 3 drives, scores Cincy, 3 straight sacks, defense. Bengals beat the Ravens again, 17-7. Leroy Selman, Hall of Famer Tampa Bay, was honored on Sunday. His 79 teammates who turned losing into winning also honored. Bang! Wearing the old number 54 of the Batman, Richard Wood. Gino.
Well, Well, a good pair of defenses has given us a good defensive first half. 7-3, the Steelers' lone score on a pick six. They get the ball to start the third quarter. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Culver on the sideline in second. Longest gain, first half, 20 yards. What needs to happen in the second half?
These are two great defenses. If you think you like what you saw in the first half, wait till you see these guys play defense in the second half. There's going to be a lot of big plays tonight on offense. I promise you that.
Well, if the Steelers are going to get one of those big explosive plays, they better protect Ben Roethlisberger. He's dropped back 11 times. He's only thrown it 9 times. He's been sacked twice. He hasn't had time to get the ball down the field. The Broncos have done a good job of what I call their mush rush. They're keeping in their lanes and they're collapsing the pocket and not giving Ben the opportunity to escape the pocket and make those plays he makes down the field when he gets outside the pocket.
Steelers have not taken a snap in Bronco territory yet tonight. Matt Prater to kick. Stephon Logan takes the at-altitude kick from 4 yards deep. Oh, look at the left side. Logan trying to get there. Not going to do it. Brought down by Woodyard and Barrett. Shy of the 20. Here's Susie Culver.
Well, Mike Tomlin raved about this Broncos secondary coming into the game. He said it's been really tough to establish any kind of a rhythm there. Mixing two-man with pressure. They're excellent at disguise, but it's nothing they didn't see on film. They need to be able to execute. Of course, the priority for the Broncos was keep Ben in the pocket. He told me that his guys seem to have the right idea, but it is hard to do. They absolutely cannot let Ben get loose here in the second half.
Able to get to him a couple of times in that first half, Susie. Each team with 2 sacks in the first half. You see, it's been a while since this Steeler pass-happy and successful passing offense has been held in check like this. Starting from their own 17. Roethlisberger comes back to the middle. It's caught by Hines Ward, pulled down by Wesley Woodyard.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger's been under pressure most of the night. He loves to buy time, but when they contain him, they'll be able to get him. They've blitzed them, they've mixed it up, they've held their coverage, but the one consistent has been Ben Roethlisberger has been under the gun early in this game.
After the gain is 7 to Ward, his second catch of the night. Here's Mendenhall bouncing to the outside, and there's the first rushing first down of the entire game. Either side, out to the 30. So here are the offensive numbers. You'll see dominated the Broncos almost a 2-to-1 ratio of plays and doing the damage in the passing yard column. 9 first downs. They sustained a drive or 2. Steelers did not. And the one play has flipped the game. The Tyrone Carter 48-yard pick 6 of Kyle Orton.
Steelers are in their 3-wide set, forcing the Broncos to bring Ty Law on the field in the slot against Hines Ward. Top of your screen.
Mendenhall go that way with a run, sneaking up inside. And Woodyard, a 3rd straight play for the second-year man out of Kentucky after a short game.
And really, that's the second time in 3 plays that the Steelers have milked that clock all the way down to 1 second. The Broncos are disguising their coverages so well, Big Ben's having a hard time getting in the right play.
Yeah, they've actually gone into their muddle rather than the full huddle, kind of get him closer to the line, giving him more time at the line of scrimmage.
Play action, Roethlisberger, pressure picked up, and in the middle it's Ward. Across midfield, first down for Hines. A gain of 18.
John, there's one of those explosive plays you're talking about. The Steelers go maximum protection to receiver route.
Well, take a look at Mike Wallace. When he lines up in that position, they are going to jet him out of there, and he had a chance down the field, but Ben worked the other way. That guy can fly. No back set.
In the first visit to Denver territory tonight. And Roethlisberger, that pump and throw to Holmes. Santonio Holmes to the 34, first down. Steelers finding an offensive rhythm here.
Boy, Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket. He does some crazy things with the football. There you saw him again. He pumped Brian Dawkins into the flat, really opened that hole to number 10, Santonio Holmes.
You know, they do a good job in their no huddle. And, Josh, you mentioned their muddle huddle. Not a full no huddle because of the noise, but it's gotten them going. A good tempo here where they did not have it any drive in the first half. At the 33. Ben has it knocked out from behind by Kenny Peterson. It's picked up and a chance to score. Robert Ayers, the rookie. Touchdown. Denver leads. First-round pick out of Tennessee, Robert Ayers.
Kenny Peterson with the pressure, number 90, knocked the ball out of Ben Roethlisberger's hand, and a very opportunistic Robert Ayers takes it to the end zone for the Denver Broncos. Once again, good pass rush pressure by the Denver Broncos, collapsing the pocket on Ben Roethlisberger.
Extra point added by Prater, a 54-yard return by Ayers. Each team has a defensive touchdown on the game. Kenny Peterson out of Ohio State forced the pressure. Ayers visits the end zone. The Broncos on top.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Assassin's Creed 2, available November 17th. Rated M for mature.
PS3, now $2.99. PlayStation.
With 12 world's first innovations, the Lexus LS doesn't simply lead an industry, it inspires one.
Oh, Ben Roethlisberger trying to get his offensive line back together as they let up that sack, forced fumble, and touchdown. Chris Kemoeatu urged on by Ben. It's a 10-7 lead. This was after the play as Kemoeatu allowed Peterson in. Kenny Peterson, who was a high school teammate at McKinley High School in Canton of head coach Josh McDaniels. I mean, how often do you play on the same high school team with your head coach? Well, it happens here because of the youth of McDaniels, age 33. Peterson able to force it out. The first-round pick Ayers takes the touchdown back, and only the defense is taking it to the end zone tonight.
You know, Mike, and I love what we saw out of Ben Roethlisberger on the sideline. A negative play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the leadership role that Roethlisberger has now assumed in Pittsburgh. Hey, we're behind in this game. Let's rally. Let's get together. That's what you want to see your quarterback doing, taking charge. Roethlisberger will do that, and he'll put the game on his shoulders. As he's talking to Bruce Arians, the offense coordinator right there, he'll tell him, hey, give me the opportunity again. I know these guys up front will protect. Give me a chance to make a play. We'll get it done. He'll lobby for more passes.
Prater kicks. Logan takes him 6 yards deep. Stephon Logan bringing it out right to the 20-yard line where Spencer Larson makes the tackle. No offensive scores. Kyle Orton threw a pick 6 in the first half, and Big Ben is bumming. as his guys see one go back the other way.
Alabama's drive to the national championship continues as they battle a tough Mississippi State team. ESPN College Football Prime Time. Alabama, Mississippi State. Saturday at 7 Eastern. College football lives here.
So I'm here at the Ford year-end sales event chatting with my buddy Phil. He's what you call a Built Ford Tough expert. What do you got, Phil?
Well, we got them all. Great deals on Ford F-150, Super Duty, any truck you need.
What makes them so great, Phil?
F-150 is best in class in towing and payload. Super Duty, name says it all.
Well, that's why they're the best-selling trucks for
32 straight years.
That's a long time.
Now during the Ford year-end sales event, get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $7,200 cash back.
Tell him Mike sent you.
Or Phil.
Phil's probably better.
I am change. I'm from where you're from, and I've been where you are. I am change, and my ears are deaf to the words I can't. I can, and you can, because I am change, and I am fierce.
Not again. Stop it!
With GameFly, choose from over 7,000 titles. Play as long as you want and send them back when you're done. $8.95 to start. No late fees. Gamefly.com. Games delivered. Product shown rated E through M.
Get GameFly's new iPhone app, Game Center, today.
Good news for the Steelers. It's the best their offense looked those 6 plays before the turnover.
Well, these two defenses are just tough to sustain drives against. Very unforgiving on both sides.
From the 20, play action, Mendenhall. Roethlisberger throws toward the rookie Wallace. On that Broncos sideline, ruled a catch. Gain of 18, first down.
Well, take a look at the touchdown. You're going to see Kemoyatu here. He's got to block this defensive end in a 3-4 defense. And that alignment creates a little bit more space for these guards. And Kemoyatu just got beaten in a one-on-one situation. It's a credit to Peterson, but Mike Nolan gives you all kind of fronts to block.
After the gain of 18 in the air, Mendenhall turns the corner. Big game, Mendenhall, 22 yards to the 38-yard line.
The Steelers need to get their running game going. That's exactly what they did with Rashard Mendenhall on this play. You'll see number 83 come across. That's Heath Miller, the tight end. Seal back to the inside. Kemoyatu, number 88, coming around the horn. Seals to the inside. Traded that lane for Mendenhall to get to the outside. Well-executed blocking scheme by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And once again, as John had already pointed out, they love running right.
Behind Willie Colon, he's their tempo setter.
Then with time for Santonio Holmes at the 10. Holmes makes it first and goal, taking it down to the 4. And in 3 plays, they've moved it almost 65 yards.
He made the Steelers mad, it looks like. That's impressive football. Take a look at Santonio. He just gets up on top of Champ Bailey, and the ball's thrown perfectly to the outside.
It looked like Champ Bailey kind of relaxed on the inside of that stem from Santonio Holmes, expecting the in-breaking route. Broke to the outside, and a perfect throw by Ben Roethlisberger out in the box.
First and goal. Steelers trying to retake the lead. Ben will spread him, throw him for Ward. Got it. Hines Ward. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
You got any more questions about Ben Roethlisberger?
If you give him time to throw, hey, John, I told you, you got to come out and start throwing this ball. Mix in the run every now and then. Roethlisberger certainly rallied his team on the sideline.
You get down in there in a red zone situation. Take a look at Heath Miller, breaks to the outside. Here comes Hines Ward to the inside. Ty Law's not in the game in this situation. It was first and goal, more of a rundown situation, and they kept Ty on the sidelines. Good play design, well executed by Pittsburgh.
It was Josh Barrett, a backup safety. He was singled up by Hines Ward. It's kind of a mismatch in the favor of Hines Ward.
Josh Reed adds the extra point. So champions react to adversity so well. 18 yards to Wallace, 24-yard run Mendenhall, 35-yarder to Holmes, and then the touchdown to Hines Ward.
An 8-speed automatic transmission. One of 12 world's first innovations. The Lexus LS. Inspiring an industry.
By 2010, 30% of
The data stored on the world's computers will be medical images.
the trouble is all of that information is trapped.
X-rays aren't talking
Medical records aren't talking to
Patient histories aren't talking to
Insurance forms. We're trying to connect all that data, make it smart.
We would see the patterns in your medical history.
In the histories of entire populations.
Predict dangerous drug combinations.
We could tailor cures
To your genetic code.
Put the focus back where it belongs, on the patient.
That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet.
An all-wheel drive V8 hybrid. One of 12 world's first innovations. The Lexus LS. Inspiring an industry.
His defense once struck fear into the rest of the league. Still does. Now his old team is coming to town. Chances are, it won't be a sentimental reunion. Bears 49ers Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
Chosen one, huh?
Quick foreplay, 80-yard, 2-minute response, and a lot of the big guns did it. Holmes, Wallace, Ward, and Mendenhall getting Brian Dawkins' defense for the first time tonight.
And Roethlisberger.
Yeah, oh my God, that guy too?
Oh yeah, by the way.
6 for 6, 97 yards and a touchdown in this quarter.
Not bad.
Give him some protection. That's what could happen. Protect the quarterback in this league. Got a pretty good chance for success.
A short kick by Reed. Running up to field, it is Spencer Larson. Maybe the best field position of the night for either team. Larson at the 40. Back to the big plays on the last drive.
Well, here's the first play. It's a big run. You're going to see a counter play. Take a look at the left guard. Kemoyatu, Heath Miller pulling around the right side, and there goes Rashard Mendenhall for a big hit down the right sideline.
And that set up the next play, the big play to Santonio Holmes. Man-to-man on Champ Bailey. Push that stem to the inside, force Champ Bailey to relax, and a perfect throw from Roethlisberger to Santonio Holmes. 2 explosive plays.
A lot of weapons.
And Pittsburgh takes the lead. First offensive score of the night. Russ Hochstein's an eligible receiver as they put an extra lineman in and hit Eddie Royal on a slant, just the way the game started, for 16 yards and a first down.
The Denver Broncos doing a nice job with their play-action passing game.
Watch the play pass. Graham comes across the formation. The linebackers have to honor that and step up. And Denver has worn Pittsburgh out on first down with that play-action pass. And Kyle Orton does a great job handling the football. It looks like a run.
And it's holding those linebackers, creating voids in that secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
At the 44, Noshawn Moreno slipped, got back up, and James Harrison sent him back down for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, take a look at the play-action pass in the first half. Kyle Orton does a great job extending the ball, showing it to the defense, and the back rolls right over the football like he has it. Here's a good picture where they sell it up into the line of scrimmage. The linebackers bite. There's nobody to stop the slant. And Denver's done a nice job with that in this football game.
That hard run fake, boy, that's tough on a defense.
Second and 11. Orton nowhere to step up to, and just shovels it. Incomplete pass for Daniel Graham. Well, it's not ruled out at this point. It's been ruled nothing but a fumble at this point. as Farrier picks it up and starts running. Now we have a fumble again on the play. It's recovered on the back end by Denver and Orton. Now, let's go back. I thought it was an incomplete pass to start with. Don Carey's microphone not working.
It's an incomplete forward pass. That's simple. Bring the ball all the way back. Here's it. Orton steps up in the pocket. A lot of bodies around him. Looking. There he sees Daniel Graham. Just flicks to him. Incomplete. You don't have to throw it overhand. You can throw it underhand behind your back as long as it's a forward pass. That will be ruled incomplete. They're coming back.
James Farrier picks it up. The Steelers do what they're trained to do, which is finish the play. Somebody's whistle's not working.
The microphone not working.
But the altitude will set in after that.
The altitude.
That play lasted 14 seconds.
That altitude, right. I like that.
And now the Steelers are all gassed by that run and come back here for 3rd and 11.
Josh getting fired up.
Third and 11, Orton flushed again. Throws from Marshall incomplete. The Steeler pressure that time keeps Denver to a first down and nothing more on the drive.
Well, there was pressure from the Steelers defense, but I believe Kyle Orton in that situation panicked. He got a little frenetic early. The clock was winding down. Josh McDaniels was upset in the sideline because he wants Orton to have time at the line of scrimmage to get his protection set. Let his receivers look at where the hot may be. That didn't happen. They were frenetic at the end when the clock was winding down. He got the ball, never set his feet, ran out the pocket. Perceived pressure.
Frenetic.
That's what he was.
Not a good punting first half for Mitch Berger, pinning Pittsburgh inside their own 10. This one works. Down to the 3 by Darcel McBath, but first touch by Josh Barrett. Long field for the Steelers, whose offense is rolling.
Steve, what are you wearing? I told you to wear a cowboy outfit.
I did.
Not those cowboys. Besides, why would you wear a football uniform for Buster's commercial?
It's football season, Buster.
So?
Nothing makes people hungrier for delicious and tender hand-rubbed, slow-smoked Texas-style barbecue than hard-hitting pigskin action.
Pigskin action?
Buster's baby back, spare ribs, pulled pork, and links.
That does sound good. Tell them where to go.
Buster's Barbecue.
Since 1994, the Wendy's High School Heisman has set the standard for high school students by recognizing the nation's most esteemed senior men and women for excellence in academics, athletics, and citizenship. Today, Wendy's and FSN would like to congratulate the 2009 Oregon Wendy's High School Heisman State finalists. To see the complete list of the top 10 male and female finalists from each of the 50 states, go to www.wendysheisman.com today.
Look at that joker. That is so dumb. Is there any mascot stupider than an aardvark?
I don't know. It's KGB.
Is there any mascot more stupid than an aardvark?
Well, there's the boll weevil from the University of Arkansas at Monticello.
Boll weevil.
I'll show you, stupid!
Text your question to 542-542.
Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies and ready for kickoff. The United States Marine Corps. Join ESPN in celebrating the Marine Corps' 234th birthday. Happy birthday, Marines. And the Lexus LS line with 12 world's first innovations.
Great football night, temperature in the 40s if you're just joining us. Good chill in the air, good playoff atmosphere, and the game on the field has matched it. Steelers backed up inside their own 5.
Won't be surprised if Pittsburgh uses a hard count, try to get a free 5 yards and buy some real estate here.
Well, if I was under center, I'd use a hard count.
He tried him, didn't get it. Mendenhall runs to the 6. Champ Bailey in on the tackle. If you're just joining us, here's how we've arrived. this score. Broncos had an opening drive for a field goal to start the game. Then Orton throws his second interception of the year, Tyrone Carter touchdown. 7-3 at the half. Roethlisberger stripped from behind by Kenny Peterson. Robert Ayers, the first-round pick from Tennessee, takes it in. Ensuing drive, Ben right down the field. 4 plays and 80 yards. Hines Ward touchdown. Steelers lead by 4. And have controlled the third quarter. Play action, Roethlisberger to Heath Miller in the tight end. Spilled by Bailey, but a first down at the 21.
Boy, Ben's feeling it right now. He jumps right back into the no huddle. He feels like he's got the tempo where he wants it. Here's that muddle huddle now, but they're going to be up at the line quickly. Beautiful play pass to Heath Miller.
And DJ Williams just had to peek in that backfield. The play action fake just held him just enough to open that seam to get the ball in to Heath Miller.
From the 20, that bunch to the left with Wallace at the top of the bunch. This time they run it with Mendenhall around the right side, and Mendenhall breaks to the clear. Gain of 25 to the 45, and a good block from Santonio Holmes along the way.
It's the same play they ran earlier. It's a counter play to the right side. Cologne's going to set. You're going to see both Heath Miller and Kemoyatu pull to the play side. It's just well blocked. The play gets to the outside. Ronaldo Hill misses a tackle. That's what Rashard Mendenhall does. He beats one-on-one defenders in open air. He's a good back.
We marked him out at the 48, so add 3 more yards. And the Steelers are dominating Denver's defense in this quarter. Roethlisberger effective with that pump. Comes back to Miller. Only going to be a gain of a yard here. Let's take a moment here, guys. When Roethlisberger's in the no huddle, he's calling the plays, Josh.
That is correct. You know, a lot of times Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, will just say, hey, Ben, it's yours. He'll go in there and they use this muddle huddle, which is what they're in now. The players kind of just grope around Ben. They hang out and he gives them the play. That gives him more time at the line of scrimmage to see the defense, set his protection, and make his calls.
Mendenhall huffing and puffing. Willie Parker in the game for the first time tonight. Then throws, and it's short for Wallace. And incomplete. We'll have third down coming up. John, that trust of a play caller and a quarterback to give him free reign like this, it's really worked for Bruce Arians and Roethlisberger.
Well, if you had Ben Roethlisberger, you could probably do a lot of things. You know, one of them is certainly trusting him. Roethlisberger's won 2 Super Bowls, and his career is really taken off. Credit to Bruce Arians for really putting together an offense that accentuates Ben Roethlisberger's abilities.
And a lot of weapons at the receiver positions.
Timeout Denver. Well, the Broncos on defense will take this timeout. We'll step out before 3rd and 6. The Steelers in control of this quarter.
Coach Levy.
Yes.
Did you tell the guys in the box next door we'd pay for all their Coors Light?
No.
Because they're saying it's on us.
They are saying it's on us.
Everyone deserves a beer with a taste as cold as the Rockies, but these guys are frost-brewed bandits.
Crying out loud, come on!
They even bought those fancy leather NFL jackets.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, we got Todd here from the box next door, and he says he's not paying.
I'm not paying this.
Come on, Todd.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
And I'm an XP user who's getting ready for the big move.
You're gonna love Windows 7.
To Mac.
Oh, what?
Well, they say moving to Windows 7 would be a fresh start.
Yes.
But the real fresh start would be moving to a computer like Mac, who's rated #1 in customer satisfaction. I mean, look, I could stick with what I know.
Yes.
But what I know is pain and frustration.
Why don't you just make up your mind?
I did. I'm gonna go with Mac.
Oh, great. Well, you don't have to rush into anything. You don't have to make up your mind.
Hey, check out the new guy. What are you doing here? You can download apps and browse the web.
Yeah, people will love you. You're gonna fit right in here.
With 5 times more 3G coverage than AT&T, Verizon Wireless is your destination for great gifts. Grab an HTC Windows phone like the Imaggio or the Droid Aris by HTC with Google for just $99.99. Verizon Wireless.
See, I told you so. I have to touch it. No one touches the Shactors. All right.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays.
4 points has been the biggest lead either way here tonight. Steelers trying to get to 6-2. Broncos trying to avoid back-to-back losses. They've exceeded the first half by far as they've gone to this quick huddle, get to the line, and let Roethlisberger do his magic. At 3rd and 6, a down Denver has dominated in the first half of this season. Again, stepping up, finding Wallace. Caught. First down at the 34.
Another outstanding job by Roethlisberger. Mobility in the pocket. He originally had Hines Ward checking down from the backfield on Ty Law, but it wasn't there, so he came to his secondary receiver and found Mike Wallace in the seam.
Nice job by Heath Miller in pass protection there against Elvis Doomerville. That was the winning edge of that play. Great job by Ben.
15 yards, and you saw on the replay, clean catch by the rookie Wallace. His 3rd tonight. Mendenhall runs to the right again. And again, an effective run to the right. Gain of about 7.
This is an old school run that's been in the Pittsburgh Steeler offense for 40 years. Willie Colon is going to draw a set. He's going to make it look like a pass. He's going to take off down the field. That play has been run forever in Pittsburgh, Jaws, and they still run it to perfection.
Was that lag draw, invite the pass rush, and cut inside.
Mendenhall approaching 100 yards. He is 97. Second and 2, the pump, the throw to Holmes in the middle. Santonio to the 15, chased down by Champ Bailey. First down, Pittsburgh.
Right now, the Steelers can do anything they want. Run, throw, and Ben is in his wheelhouse right now. The pump fake. No one does it better. And now he moves the secondary. That opens up Santonio Holmes on Champ Bailey. You see the pump right there. That takes the defender off him, and Holmes opens up nicely.
Broncos really. From the 15, time for Ben to the end zone, intercepted by Andre Goodman. Goodman cutting back, flag down on the return as Goodman goes down, but a big red zone interception by the Broncos.
Well, this is a double post. They really didn't get very good route distribution right there, and the ball was poorly thrown. But they looked for Mike Wallace down the chute. They didn't have real good separation, and the ball was poorly thrown. That's a big mistake right there for the Steelers. Take a look at Hines Ward. He's going to try to get some space on the old double post, but they have 2 receivers running into the same region.
Illegal block in the back. The intercepting team, number 68, half the distance to the goal. It will be Denver's ball, 1st and 10.
There's no 68 on Denver. Kenny Peterson's hurt for the Broncos.
And really, Ben just missed the throw.
Yeah, that's a throw as a quarterback you wish you could have back. You throw that thing back to the inside. There was a little window to squeeze it in. That one got away from Ben. You'll see it right here. Boy, look at his eyes. Focused on Hines Ward. The ball is back over his shoulder. And, of course, Andre Goodman right there to make the interception. But that was a poorly thrown ball by Roethlisberger.
So, when you run those post patterns where the receiver's in a close formation and he widens on his departure, sometimes the landmark is a little confusing. And clearly that ball was a miscue right there. That was not thrown where Ben wanted it.
And it's rare for Ben. That's his first red zone interception since October of '07. Over 2 years since he's thrown a red zone pick. And a huge play to keep the Broncos in it. Slant to Brandon Marshall. Out of an arm tackle by Ryan Mundy, and a gain of about 15 from Marshall.
Well, this is punch, counter punch. Now their body blows back and forth, throwing the football. Both teams very aggressive with the passing game. Nothing but a quick three-step drop by Kyle Orton. Ball out in 1.5 seconds. Right on the belly button of Brandon Marshall. Catch that ball and you get yards after the catch.
You mentioned in the first half, Marshall caught 8 against the Patriots. In that overtime victory, now 9. Season high for Brandon. Orton to the flat to Scheffler. Tony Scheffler finally a catch. Here's a SportsCenter right now with Trey Wingo. Trey?
Michael, thank you. Tale of 2 running backs will start in college. LeGarrette Blount's career will continue at Oregon despite being suspended for the season after this punch in the season-opening loss to Boise State. It's now just an 8-game suspension. He'll be on the field when they take on Arizona State Saturday night. The Kansas City career for Larry Johnson is over. The Chiefs have released the 2-time Pro Bowl running back, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry. SportsCenter after the game, but Mike, you guys got a good one going now.
We do, Trey. And after that SportsCenter, you'll have NFL Primetime, recap of this one, and all of Week 9. Inside run with Correll Buckhalter. He gets knocked back, and it will be 3rd down coming up for Denver.
You know, I watched the Steelers and the Broncos. I think these two teams are running teams. But clearly, both of them have scrapped the run for the gun. They're in a shotgun, these two teams, more than I've ever seen.
Well, wait. I'll counter that, John. Pittsburgh at least has 95 yards rushing now. Denver has an anemic 27 yards rushing. Terrell Davis is not in the backfield.
3rd and 5. Orton moved his wide receiver there to get a look at Pittsburgh's defense. And the 1-down lineman. Got it away to Stokely. Couldn't get to the sticks. Ryan Mundy and Ike Taylor get him shy of the 1st down. And that'll bring up 4th down. Shea Townsend was the man who came clear.
That's what the Broncos do a great job of. They put a receiver in motion and they reload the formation. And Orton sees the blitz coming. He tries to change the protection. The Broncos weren't on the same page. They missed a pickup right here. Boy, these Steelers can tackle.
Yeah, and you know, John, if he would have had time to look back to the inside, he had Marshall open on the slant. He had to unload the ball to Stokely.
At the end of the quarter, Berger hits a big one. 50 yards on the nose. Taken back by Logan. Stefan brought down by fellow kick returner and number 11, Kenny McKinley, at the 30. Steelers and Broncos. 4-point Pittsburgh lead after 3 on Monday Night Football.
A luxury car that virtually parks itself. One of 12 world's first innovations. The Lexus LS. Inspiring an industry.
Hey, Jimmy Football here. What's the problem with the taste of wheat? All that wheat. Set, hike. Ah! Light beer, stamp. Golden wheat, stamp. Huge flavor, stamp. Golden wheat is crazy. Crazy good. That's wheat I'm talking about, because Bud Light Golden Wheat is... tailgate tested! Tailgate approved!
A reactive pedestrian detection system. One of 12 world's first innovations. The Lexus LS. Inspiring an industry.
Snyder's of Hanover pretzels are meant to be shared. Shared among families, across generations, and throughout the country. Making us America's pretzel. After all, the best things in life are made to be shared. Snyder's of Hanover.
Jimmy the Greek was a name that resonated wherever you went.
He did lift sports gambling out of the corners and into living rooms.
To get all the way to the mountaintop and then just plummet to the bottom, that's a story.
What if I told you that the greatest odds he ever saw were his own? The Legend of Jimmy the Greek, directed by Fritz Mitchell, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN. Part of ESPN Films' critically acclaimed 30 for 30, presented by Levi's.
Well, they're 2 of the best records in the AFC. Some people wondered if Denver's one of the better teams in the AFC. I'll tell you what, the effort thus far through 3 quarters has been playoff-type action. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden, Susie Colbert, 4th quarter here in Denver. Pittsburgh 14, Denver 10. Steelers started possession at their own 30.
Mike, there's been a playoff-like atmosphere here all weekend, especially tonight. There's a good chance these teams will meet again down the road. A very good chance.
They've played in the playoffs 6 times over their storied histories. Drive starts from the 30, reverse to Mike Wallace, the speedster. Roethlisberger attempted a block. Brian Dawkins brings the rookie down after a gain of 3.
And Kenny Peterson was in terrific position to make a play.
You know, one of the problems I saw in the last series and in this third quarter was Ty Law struggling to line up as the nickel corner. See him right here. He doesn't know exactly what to do. Remember, he just got here yesterday. And all these Broncos, they're hand signaling. They're telling them where to go. Ball snap. They're running the football. And the Steelers have had 2 big runs against the Broncos' nickel defense.
Now he's just covering Hines Ward up there. He was going to switch inside for a second. Now hops back out to Ward. They'll run Mendenhall to the right. Good pursuit by Wesley Woodyard. Made a lot of plays tonight. And again, just for the folks who are just tuning in, Ty Law, great veteran in this league, 15th year in the NFL, was signed by this team officially Saturday. He landed here Friday night. He became a father with a daughter born on Tuesday. Got a call on Thursday from Josh McDaniel, said, we want to sign you for the rest of the year. They cut nickelback Jack Williams, and he's trying to figure out what's going on.
He's never played inside. He's been an outside corner for 15 years, Jaws. It's an amazing what they're asking him to do.
And he's doing it pretty well.
Sure is.
Hey, who are you and what do I do on this play?
So he looks like he's asking now.
3rd and 6 for Ben. Deep shot for Wallace. Nowhere. Andre Goodman, strong coverage. 3 and out in Pittsburgh to start the quarter.
One of the few times the Broncos went to a pure zone defense. They took away any confusion Ty Law may have had. They just relaxed that defense, came backwards. Ben tried to get the big play. It wasn't there. They've been playing man-to-man most of the night. They decided to go to the zone. It worked.
Remember, Eddie Royal had the 71-yard punt return against San Diego. Special team player of the month in the AFC. See if he gets a shot at returning one here. He does from the 18. Trying to use the wall to the right. Turns the corner, but can't get upfield, and he's taken down across the 30-yard line. Daniel Sepulveda, the punter, came on up there to say, you're not taking one back on me.
Rated M for mature.
Together we will make our stand. Together we will save this world.
Dragon Age Origins. Not every hero is pure. Take your time to find the right time with Cialis for daily use. A clinically proven low-dose tablet for erectile dysfunction you take every day. So you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor about Cialis today, so when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Customizable NFL gear with any name, number, and color. Exclusive to NFLshop.com. You want the NFL? Go to the NFL.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by IBM. Let's build a smarter planet. Visit IBM.com/smarterplanet. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And NFL.com. Vote for the 2010 NFL Pro Bowl exclusively at NFL.com/Pro Bowl.
Never been here. It's one of the neat downtowns in America. and that great unpredictable weather. I was here 12 days ago for a Nuggets game. We had 2 feet of snow. Sunday was 70 degrees. Beautiful night here and a great game to match. First down, Orton. A throw. Polamalu defending. Marshall out of bounds. Incomplete. Well called on the sideline.
Well, that was a very dangerous throw by Kyle Orton. Troy Polamalu did an outstanding job of coming underneath the route of Brandon Marshall and almost had the interception. You'll see it right here. It's nice to have a 6'4" receiver in Marshall out there. Almost stayed in bounds, but a very difficult throw. Orton got it in, but Marshall couldn't control.
No, that is a bad decision.
Wow.
They were lucky to get away with that.
I don't care if Polamalu is giving up a half foot. I'm not challenging him. 2nd and 10. The pressure picked up for a moment. Flushed because of Fox, and the pass is incomplete. The pressure came from Ke'Aaron Fox, and the back couldn't pick him up enough. 3rd down.
Well, watch this from the end zone. If you're a running back in this league, you have to pick up the blitz. Here comes the cross dog. You cannot cut block a linebacker that's blitzing right up the middle. He'll land on your quarterback. That is just not good enough by Sean Moreno. And if the Steelers see him in there in a blitz situation, they'll blitz the back automatically. You have got to face up in that situation.
3rd down. Marshall out of the arm tackle with Deshae Townsend, but that's pursuit. Much more black and gold waiting.
Well, I think what's happening right now, Mike, the Denver Broncos are giving the Steelers too much credit. They're not even attempting to block them and get the ball down the field. They're going to have to take some shots down the field. On 3rd and 10, you're not going to get a total blitz on the Pittsburgh Steelers where that bubble screen will work. The Steelers are a fire zone blitz team. That's a safer way to apply pressure, and they're very successful with it.
Roethlisberger kicks to Stephon Logan. Very high, not very deep at all. Logan going to let it bounce. A bunch of Steelers there lucky to get out of the way, and that is an awful kick. That's 24 yards. They brought in Mitch Berger to try to improve the punting. Thus far,
I've fallen and I can't get up. I need help.
When you are home alone and have a bad fall where you cannot move, you are stuck in a very limited area. If you cannot reach a phone, you may lay helpless on the floor for hours or days, which can result in permanent incapacitation or death.
This waterproof pendant is my magic wand. To some of the paramedics, fire department, police, or my doctor, it contacts Life Alert.
When you have a heart attack like I did, and there's no one there, Life Alert was there for me. I couldn't handle the alternative of going to a nursing home.
Thanks to Life Alert, you can live alone without ever being alone. And that's why I wear one.
New Life Alert Classic for seniors or Life Alert 50+.
Please call 1-800-778-0212 for a free brochure about Life Alert. That's 1-800-778-0212. Call us toll-free now at 1-800-778-0212. 1-800-778-0212.
Welcome to Progressive.com. You must be looking for motorcycle insurance.
You're good.
Thanks. So is our bike insurance. All the coverage you need at a great price.
Cool.
Hold on, cowboy. I'm not done. For less than $1 a month, you also get 24/7 roadside assistance.
Right on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you ride a 500.
More like a 900 V-twin.
Excuse me.
Well, you're excused.
The right insurance for your ride. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
How about the Cincinnati Bengals, huh? 6-2 at the top of the division, playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday. If the Steelers win, they'll be tied. It'll be a matchup of first-place teams. Meantime, the Broncos saw the Chargers come back in the evening last night at the Meadowlands to beat the Giants. So San Diego's getting rolling, 5-3. Broncos will only be a game ahead if they lose to Pittsburgh. And San Diego comes here in a couple of weeks. So an important game atop each division, the North and the West in the AFC.
And Carson Palmer getting healthier, starting to stroke it in Cincinnati.
Roethlisberger from the 41 hands to Mendenhall, who gains about a yard. He's right at 99 yards after that carry. DJ Williams, the tackle. Well, the chess match when the ball belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense. It's Mike Nolan, the former 49er head coach, the defensive coordinator here in Denver.
Guy's a heck of a coach and a heck of a guy. He was a good head coach. They just never got the quarterback healthy and playing in San Francisco.
Really reworked the transformation of this defense in Denver this year. Ward catches and gains 2 yards. Ty Law out there on the tackle.
You know, the Steelers had been running that counter play back to the weak side. Nice play call right here by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come back and fake the counter play back to the weak side, and they look for Hines Ward as an outlet receiver in the flat. But it was well defended by Ty Law.
Yeah, but John, they've been running success to the right. They haven't run to the left. They tried to play fake to the left. Broncos didn't buy it.
Mike Wallace has been taking a lot of oxygen on the sideline. Limas Swede is in the game as the third receiver. Roethlisberger complete to the other side to Holmes in that man-to-man battle with Champ Bailey. Santonio wins.
Real nice job by the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, picking up the pressure, and Ben Roethlisberger identifying the one-on-one.
And Santonio Holmes is deceptively quick. Champ Bailey talked to us about that yesterday. He said he doesn't look like he's running, but boy, when you play against him, he is fast. And Santonio's having a big night against Champ Bailey right now.
On everyone thrown at him, all 6. First down of the fourth quarter either way. Mendenhall takes it over 100 yards with that carry to the 44.
Santonio Holmes and Champ Bailey have been going at it all night. Excellent job of coming back to the football by Holmes. Here, a nice job of settling down in the hole. Good throw. And here's that speed John just spoke about. Runs right by Champ Bailey. You see just about every route. Now this one, Ben gives a little pump fake to the outside. Holmes comes back underneath. He's on a roll right now, and Ben knows it, and he's looking for him.
Super Bowl MVP, perennial Pro Bowler. Holmes against Bailey. Then slanting is Swede. And Limas Swede can't hold on in front of Andre Goodman. Another third down coming up.
You know, speaking of Santonio Holmes and Hines Ward, Super Bowl MVP wideouts. How many teams sport 2 of those?
None.
But these 2 guys, I'm telling you, they sleep in hyperbaric chambers. They told me Santonio Holmes was sleeping in one of those all week to get more oxygen and get acclimated to this altitude. What is a hyperbaric chamber? Only you know, Mike.
Well, we got to get you one of those, John. I've been hyper all week.
Oh. 3rd and 6. There's a 4-man rush. Roethlisberger down the middle from Miller through his hands and incomplete. Wesley Woodyard went down the seam with him. The Steelers will punt.
Hey, take a look at this size advantage that left tackle Max Starks has against Elvis Dumerville. This is 6'8", 360 pounds against a 5'11" rusher. You don't see that type of a size advantage often.
Gentle hands to the face, too. Yeah. Sepulveda kicks it high. Fair catch by Royal. And Pittsburgh's been able to pin Denver deep. Like Denver to Pittsburgh. 14-10. Can the Broncos get their first offensive touchdown of the night?
In 25 years, global energy consumption will increase by 50%.
To meet demand, we'll need to harness the power of sun,
wind, waves,
and atoms.
But that's not enough. Today, we need oil.
Which means before we drill for oil, we drill for data.
We can create 3D models of hidden reserves.
Find new oil in old wells.
Extend the life of a field.
Reduce the need for new drilling.
Smarter resources.
Let's fuel the smarter planet.
That's what I'm working on.
I'm an IBMer.
Let's build a smarter planet.
Sir, debris heading towards our comm satellite. Impact may cut off communications with ground forces.
Launch avoidance maneuver. 20 kilometers in closing.
Collision averted, sir. All objects are accounted for.
Good job.
Learn more at airforce.com.
When the flu hits you hard, hit right back with Theraflu Warming Relief. Nothing fights your worst flu symptoms with more power. Theraflu. Good to be back.
Let me guess, you're here to burn down the building and all evidence therein.
Get that out of my face.
It's not in your face, it's in my hand. Madam, trust me, I'm a professional.
Let's go!
Sherlock Holmes.
You do know what you're drinking is meant for eye surgery.
Starts Christmas Day.
This is Mike Tomlin's 40th game as head coach. First time he looks across the field and sees somebody younger on the opposite sideline as head coach. Tomlin 37, Josh McDaniels 33. In fact, youngest combined age of two head coaches in an NFL game in 16 years. But you know what? You're talking about all the age stuff. These teams are well prepared and well coached. The number means nothing. Oh, Polamalu flying in to make a first down stop of Correll Buckhalter.
That is a problem.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, when you run motion and hand a ball off, a lot of times you're not assuming Troy's going to blitz. But right here, he shot his gun. He came flying off that corner. He is a vicious tackler.
You know, Dick LeBeau told us he does have some parameters. It's hard to believe that when you watch him play. He seems to play very intuitive and get to the ball wherever it may be.
Denver cannot run the ball. Orton throws, intercepted Polamalu. He makes the play in the run game, intercepts Orton in a key spot again, and there's some terrible towels waving at Mile High.
Well, it's another play-action pass.
Not going to work on 2nd and 11.
Well, it's a two-man route, Jaws. And you're just going to see a little slot combination. They're both going to run post patterns. Play-action pass. Not a lot of people are buying it. Just an overthrown ball. Steelers capitalize on any mistakes you make. And that guy right there, Troy Polamalu, let's get him.
Star of the game.
Let's give him something.
Imperative that Denver holds Pittsburgh to a field goal and keeps it a one-score game. Mendenhall for 6 to the 19.
And this is where Willie Colon and Trey Essex, the right guard and the right tackle. These three guys over here on the right side. Look at Willie Colon.
And John, how about this? They line up next to them 3 tight ends as well when you look at Miller, Spaeth, and Johnson. So they got some heavy boys out there blocking on that right side, and you see it once again.
Mendenhall right. That one is strung out and taken care of by the Denver defense and Brian Dawkins. So one great safety makes a play and the other counters.
These guys have defined the safety position. Polamalu, Brian Dawkins, you'll see him number 20 coming off the edge. Look at the penetration. Look how he handles Heath Miller. Just blows that thing up in the backfield.
You will not find 2 better safeties in the world than Brian Dawkins and Troy Polamalu. They are 2 of the best in football.
Third and 10, they blitz. Pittsburgh picks it up for the moment. Roethlisberger so good out of the pocket, throws a touchdown to Mike Wallace.
We opened the telecast talking about Ben Roethlisberger and his ability to extend the play. Outside the pocket, he was 72% complete, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is no surprise when Ben Roethlisberger starts to move. He makes the pump fake, he sees the seam, he gets out on the edge, and he finds Mike Wallace wide open at the goal line. Ben Roethlisberger kills you when he's outside the pocket.
And those Steeler fans who travel everywhere the black and gold go, reason to stand up and cheer. The third touchdown for Mike Wallace, capitalizing off the Polamalu interception. 11-point lead for the champs.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the who's, whys, and hows after two of the AFC's best square off in Denver. Why the Chiefs ran LJ out of Kansas City. We count down the top NFL plays from Week 9. Plus, the Tar Heels get the college basketball season rolling. We'll see you after the game.
Nobody really likes to travel that much for work.
5-hour plane travel followed by maybe a hotel room.
What things were you going to have to get done at home, with your family?
Followed by getting to the actual meeting.
And there's, of course, the time lost while you're gone.
Put meetings in their place with GoToMeeting. With one click, GoToMeeting lets you hold online meetings from anywhere. Everyone in your meeting can give presentations and sales demos, edit documents, and collaborate in real time, whether on a PC or a Mac. Hold unlimited online meetings with integrated phone and VoIP conferencing for just $49 a month.
You could see somebody's idea of moving something on the screen somewhere else, and yeah, that looks way better.
It's less complicated than probably most of the activities you already do on your computer.
I saved a day's worth of travel, probably $1,000 worth of expenses. With GoToMeeting, I actually made money.
It's not only the time savings, it's what's possible now.
It's one of those tools we can't live without.
Try GoToMeeting free today. Visit GoToMeeting.com and use the promo code SPORTS.
No way. 2 Heismans? Did not happen.
Okay, let's make it interesting.
How about loser wears my outfit?
Done.
You got a cell phone? Just text 542-542, write your question, then hit send. You like jazz?
Bingo. There's your answer. Archie Griffin, 74 and 75.
Text your question to 542-542.
Nice moves. Tell.
I'm good.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers able to take advantage of the Kyle Orton mistakes. He had only been picked off once all year, and that was a Hail Mary at the end of a half. Been intercepted twice tonight. One went back all the way by Tyrone Carter, and the one a moment ago for Polamalu turns into a Mike Wallace touchdown reception from Roethlisberger, and it's 21-10, Pittsburgh on top.
I think the Steelers really got to be great in coverage right here. This is the one chance Denver has to get back in the game with a big return.
Pittsburgh had given up some kickoff returns the last couple of weeks. It bounces down to McKinley, and Kenny comes down at the 25.
You'll see him set up in the pocket, but watch Mike Wallace, the trail. Now we got the clock working. There's the pump fake from Ben Roethlisberger. That freed up Mike Wallace, and look at what he had. 5.2 seconds to throw the football. Once Ben sees this seam right to his right, now he goes to it. Now he looks downfield, and he picks up Mike Wallace for the touchdown, but over 5 seconds to throw the football, and the pump fake freed up Mike Wallace.
On first down, Orton and Denver, a desperate offense. Out of the tackle box, throws it away. What was he out of the tackle box? I'm not so sure. Incomplete pass, no grounding call.
Well, when the Steelers get you within a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter, it becomes a feeding frenzy. And there's Lamar Woodley working Columbus, who's in his first start in the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers love rushing, blitzing, and getting after you when they have a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter.
Kyle Orton won't get over 5 seconds. Rest assured of that.
Number 26 is Orton's throw for Royal, incomplete. It has been a very poor half offensively for Denver. Just 2 first downs and 42 yards. And I mentioned how good Orton has been with the ball all season until tonight.
Yeah, but a lot of these statistics are misleading now. This is a very high percentage, low-risk offense. You're not going to throw a lot of interceptions with this style of passing game. But right now, they have clearly got to score and score quickly because they're 2 scores behind.
Well, there's nothing going down the field. It's been short drops, and right now the Steelers' secondary, the third-level defense is sitting on all the routes. They've got to take a shot to lay one up to Marshall.
Orton had it knocked down, deflected. It's picked back up by his center, Casey Wigman, and back at the 11-yard line. Rec Keisel was there around the ball as he came out. Who's had a fabulous game with 2 sacks.
I remember watching that World Series a couple days ago, and that Yankee manager, he just went down to the bullpen and got that guy. What was his name?
You don't have to remind me about that World Series.
Ron, you're a Phillies fan.
Well, I know it.
And Joe Girardi getting Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
And say, come on, enter Sandman and close the game.
Yeah, close the game. That's the Steeler defense. Is that what you're trying to get to?
Timeout. A challenge flag thrown by Denver and Josh McDaniels, perhaps challenging if that was a forward pass or not. It'll be the second challenge by the Broncos tonight. We'll go to break looking at it. And it does look like it was a forward pass deflected by Keisel, which would save them some yardage.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. There's nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love's all you need.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
Mention the many Steeler fans who are here. Right now a challenge on that third down fumble ruled on the field. The Broncos challenging, thinking it's a forward pass. It's pretty clear.
That ball's definitely going forward. The arm's going forward. That would be an incomplete pass.
And James Harrison came around the edge, hit Orton's arm, but Orton still had the ball as he was coming forward. Brett Keisel was in the way, and you mentioned Keisel. What a great game he's had. No Aaron Smith, no Travis Kershke, two normal starting defensive ends. Smith's done for the year. Kershke out, missing the game tonight. Keisel, Nick Eason, Casey Hampton, Ziggy Hood, and Chris Hoke. 5 defensive linemen have done a very good job.
Outstanding job. When you consider this mile-high altitude.
After review, the pass was incomplete. It will be 4th down on the 26-yard line. Please set the game clock to 6:44. Denver is not charged with a timeout.
But they are out of challenges. But what that does is it saves 15 yards, I think it is, to the 26. It also saves them 46 seconds because the clock was sitting at 5:58. So they get 46 seconds plus some yardage back. So it was a smart challenge. Now the only other negative is if they need to challenge something in the next 4:44, they can't. They're out of challenges.
Well, to make it simpler, Mike, when they get the ball, when Steelers get the ball, Denver's got to stop them. Or else that time will be irrelevant.
Well, they got to stop them. They also got to do something when they have the football around. Score.
Very good point, John. Very good.
There's Berger's punt. Again, not very deep at all. Just 40 yards. And Nweldy Moore goes back to get it. And there goes Moore. Flag down. Flag down behind the return. Moore out of bounds at the 20. There's a guy who plays on 3rd down. Blitz pickup. Runs at the end of the game. Solid runner. Comes back for that key punt return, which could have taken it to the 23, but instead likely to come back.
After the interception, legal block in the back, intercepting team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Pittsburgh.
Erasing a 43-yard return.
Keenan Lewis with the block in the back. Pretty apparent there, although Mike Tomlin doesn't believe so. All right, here's when you got to run the football, John. You can talk about running the game, running the ball, all you want, 200 yards, 250 yards. When you got an 11-point lead, 6:30 to go, this is when you have to be able to run the ball.
We all know Pittsburgh likes to run right behind Willie Colon. But Bruce Arians has told us and proved to us he will let Ben throw the ball in this situation. So anything goes, but expect the Steelers to slam the ball with their running game.
We haven't seen the fullback, Carey Davis, because of his hamstring injury. So David Johnson, a tight end, has been the lead blocker for Mendenhall, who's tackled by Champ Bailey, lost of about 3 yards. Mendenhall is close to 100 yards. That yardage loss, it hurts a little bit. But he is one of a series of very good first-round picks. Remember, they're not drafting 6th or 7th. They're drafting deep in the first round because they're successful. They don't miss.
No, and you can give the head coach and the staff and the players and everybody, there's enough credit to go around when you win.
Yep.
But Kevin Colbert, the general manager of the Steelers, he deserves a lot of credit. They're missing 4 key starters tonight. They just put another guy in the lineup and they don't miss a beat.
Kevin's one of those grinders that gets the job done and shuns the spotlight.
Well, Mendenhall moved in the backfield. That'll back him up 5. There's Kevin.
Lawrence Timmons is not playing tonight. They put in
Full start. Offense, number 34. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
They put in another linebacker. They lose Troy Polamalu earlier in the year. Now they lose Ryan Clark. They put in another safety.
Aaron Smith.
They're missing several defensive linemen. The beat goes on. And Kevin Colbert and his staff have done a phenomenal job finding Pittsburgh Steelers that fit this profile of what they want to do here.
Penalty makes it 2nd and 18. Roethlisberger milked every second off the clock. Mendenhall makes up for his false start with a first down and another huge run. So he is developing into a primetime performer. Remember, he was benched early in the season. He went through a week where he did not give a lot of great effort and had some mistakes. He has 137 yards tonight.
Outstanding job by the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've been saying that all night. You'll check there. And also the center, Justin Hart right there. He does a great job as well of sealing that back to the inside and creates that little lane for Mendenhall. They started that play to the right, John. That was a little cutback.
A 36-yard run gives Mendenhall a break. Llewellyn Moore runs it up inside for a yard. As we dip under 5 minutes, you know, Mendenhall was benched in the 3rd game. Mike Tomlin told us last night, you know, that week of practice, it was just every day he did something that got under my skin. He did something wrong. So against San Diego, he comes back after that benching, ran for 165 yards on that Sunday nighter and 2 touchdowns, his first career start. Willie Parker's been dinged. Mendenhall has proven to Tomlin he can do it.
I give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit. Mike Tomlin, he wants Mendenhall to feel the gravity of what we're doing with the Pittsburgh Steelers and be a pro, be on top of the details, because Mendenhall has a chance to be a great pro. And Mike Tomlin really likes him too.
45 more to the left. Llewellyn Moore, now they're punishing the Bronco defense. First down at the 35-yard line.
Well, Denver's got to figure out how to stop this weak side counter play. This is the 3rd time I've seen it. Now they're going to run it back to the left side. But it's just the guard pulling, Heath Miller pulling around, and they have outflanked Denver 3 times. And these have been gashes. Big runs, Ron. And Llewellyn Moore proves he can still run the rock.
Hey, John, how about the size of these pulling guards? Kimo Ayatu at 344 and Trey Essex at 324. And they can motor.
After the 15th first down of the half, a short run. You know, Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, was telling me on the field before the game about loving the stable of backs, hoping Parker gets healthy, gets back. We've seen Mendenhall's success, and at the end of the game, we are really happy with Llewellyn Moore. Terrific 3rd down back, but these situations, he knows, don't break it for 30 yards. Get what's there, close the game with intelligence.
Well, Richard has had fumbles in the red zone the last 2 weeks. Yes. They missed fast Willie Parker. He has had a very good Steeler career. If they get Fast Willie back with Noel DeMore and Mendenhall, wow, they are loaded in the backfield.
There's more running to the 28. Denver should take a timeout here to use the 2-minute warning to its advantage, and they will. Timeout Broncos with 2:27 to go in this fourth quarter. 21-10 the score, and some words exchanged as this timeout is called. Get everybody settled. Timeout Broncos. And here's the Steelers' run game tonight, guys. Very effective, especially to the right, like you talked about.
Well, that's where they like to run. They've been running about 45% this season to the right. Very effective to the right and up the middle. Particularly in the second half, they got the running game going. Hey, you run to the right with Willie Colon becoming one of the real leaders on this football team. Trey Essex, they use those double teams. Boy, and they just create room for Mendenhall and Noel DeMore to run the football. But boy, the Steelers got back to some old-fashioned hit-him-in-the-mouth running style in that second half and really got their offense going.
Oh, it's another thing Kevin Colbert's done. He has re-put together this offensive line. They lost Alan Faneca. They lost Jeff Hardings. They've lost some really good linemen, and this young group is coming together. They got a lot to be excited about the second half.
Hey, throw those tight ends. They did some blocking, too.
There's a Pittsburgh run down and take a timeout. Mike Tomlin saw something he didn't like, so they'll use one here with 2:27 to go. And the Steelers leading 21-10. Well, this win puts a lot of pressure on Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Baltimore, because they're a couple of games back of Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Yeah, work to do. They'll go to Cleveland next Monday night, and Eric Mangini said today, we'll find out on Wednesday who it's going to be. It's going to be Derek Anderson or Brady Quinn at quarterback when we join you from the shores of Lake Erie at 8:30 Eastern Time next Monday night. Perhaps Brian Sipe or Bernie Kosar. I don't know what they're going to
Bernie's in town.
Give
Bernie a call and see what's going on.
It'll be interesting to go there because it's such a mess right now with the Browns. They thought they had solved it, and we'll discuss that when we're there next week. But, hey, it's big for Baltimore. Baltimore's a couple of games back, and Baltimore still has Pittsburgh twice and Cincinnati. So a huge game for them next week.
This is an impressive drive by the Steelers as they exhaust the clock. Got to be smart here with the ball.
They've used 4 minutes on the clock here. This is play 7 of this drive. And Roethlisberger will throw. Caught by Ward. He gets the first down.
You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with this defense and this quarterback, they just close you out, man. They go to the bullpen in the fourth quarter. The Pittsburgh Steelers remind me of this guy, the Sandman. In the fourth quarter, when the game's on the line, Steeler defense, they wear you out.
You love showing that.
Roethlisberger, game over. I love the way the Steelers close games, just like Mariano
too, you
of
know?
the Yankees.
Yeah, you had to throw that out. You've been chopping for 3 hours to get that in there.
Look at this closeout by the Pittsburgh Steelers, Josh.
Mendenhall to the 3. And Invesco at Mile High. Sounds like Heinz Field. They've got a great team. They have won 6 Super Bowl championships, and they have the best following in the NFL. With all due respect to the Cowboys, you go on the road in the black...
Jeep. Knowing that every day I have a choice to make between watching the clock and occasionally my back, or I can greedily, rightfully seize every ticking moment and never give one of them back. I live, I ride, I am Jeep.
Good kill.
Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Get your limited edition Xbox 360 console.
Rated M for mature.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. Stuart Scott with you. After the game on SportsCenter, the GMC Sierra postgame show. I'm sure the thousands of Steeler fans will help us with all the highlights and analysis. Plus, the defending college basketball national champions open their season trying to avenge a 28-year grudge. Mike, back to you.
Yeah, college hoop season starting tonight. Next week after our game, we've got a marathon of like 24 hours straight of college football, college basketball. So the season begins. Champ Bailey and the Broncos are bumming. They opened 6-0, and we started the game talking about the back-to-back tests, the two finalists from the AFC, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. They'll go 0 for 2 and only score one offensive touchdown against those teams unless they get one here at the end.
Well, Ben's probably going to take a knee here. Only run one play, one timeout left.
Roethlisberger, Mendenhall slipped. Almost lost the exchange.
He did.
The ball ends up in the hands of Mario Hagan. Let's see if he was down first. We have no call yet. We have no whistle yet stopping the clock. The clock winding down here. With just time running off. And it's say it was down, no fumble, second down. In the last 2 minutes, a review would happen automatically upstairs. And we have an injured Steeler on the play as well.
Some confusion there in the backfield.
It's Cologne, sorry.
Mendenhall slipped.
See the young backfield. David Johnson is in there at fullback. He almost stepped on Ben Roethlisberger, but the exchange between the quarterback and the running back wasn't clean. That ball was coming out, guys.
It was knocked down by Mario Hagan. The ball was still resting on the body of Rashard Mendenhall.
No, we're talking about that Steeler might get rushing game, sorry.
Well, hang on one second here. I just want to make sure that they're not reviewing this play, which would happen automatically from upstairs. They are not. Haven't stopped the game to this point. Because there was an injury to a Steeler player, there's a Pittsburgh charge timeout. Willie Cologne had to come off. Sorry, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that Steeler run defense tonight. They've only given up 27 yards rushing. They came into the game with the #1 rushing defense in the league, only giving up like 76 yards per game. They have been fantastic.
Now we're going to take a look, I think.
The previous play is under review from the booth.
I can't remember a 2-minute situation where we haven't had a review in the booth.
Probably a couple more to come.
Let's get another look.
The ball was coming out, though. Watch.
Yeah, then when he comes down, does he have possession of it or not? That's the question.
Well, regardless, the Pittsburgh Steelers took possession of this ball and marched it all the way down to the Bronco 5-yard line. They exhausted well over 5 minutes. And here in the second half, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had the football for over 22 minutes. Denver's had the ball for 6 minutes.
Time of possession, you control time of possession, 80% win. Just like turnovers. You win the turnover battle, +1 or better, 81% win. Protect the football, control the football, you're going to win.
But when you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you can come in here and lay this kind of performance down off of a bye week, this will be their 5th straight victory with 4 defensive starters out. That's impressive. Aaron Smith, we didn't even talk about him. Might have been their best interior defensive lineman out for the year. Travis Kursky doesn't play. Lawrence Timmons doesn't play. Ryan Clark not in action tonight. And you come out and lay this kind of a game down, you're for real.
Well, let's go forward here as they look at the replay review to determine if that was a fumble or not. You talk about Pittsburgh holding on here, getting to 6-2. Big matchup Sunday at home against Cincinnati for the division lead. Then at the Chiefs, the first of 2 meetings with the Ravens, followed by the Raiders and Browns. So needless to say, teams from what has become the sea flight, the bottom of the league, 3 opportunities for victories there. Pittsburgh is it seemed like every week the last 2 years the Steelers were playing a big game. But they handle big games and big moments like the second half here with calm. They don't panic. They got to that little muddle huddle / no huddle. Offense started clicking. Game changed. Here's Don Carey.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
So no fumble called there, and minute 35 left, each team with a timeout.
You know, Mike, you talked about the Steelers. You know, they handle the pressure. They've been to Super Bowls, all those things. But they're a consistent football team. There's continuity in their football team. The coaches have been together. You know, they know the profile of every player like they have on their roster. They make very few mistakes.
And for the Denver Broncos, 3 weeks ago, we saw them. They had that 3-game lead. And all of a sudden, just like last year, Jaws.
Here come the Chargers.
Here are the San Diego Chargers. Chargers will be a game out after tonight.
Phillip Rivers. Boy, what a comeback yesterday. I'd like to have that guy in the 2-minute drill.
Minute 35 and one timeout for Denver. And Pittsburgh cannot just take a knee and run the game out. That's why they're still handing up. Mendenhall slipped again. Man who's fumbled twice in the red zone in the last 2 weeks. Almost had a third. Runs it inside. And Denver uses that final timeout with a minute 27 to go. Gives us a chance to look at what the Broncos have. A short week in a road game. Always hard statistically. Well, history tells you it's a difficult week, and they'll play the Redskins next week. Then San Diego comes in. That's the team John just talked about on their heels. A short week to play the reeling Giants on Thanksgiving evening, and then the 1-7 Chiefs at Arrowhead, followed by Indianapolis. Denver, to its advantage, has its remaining 3 division home games left.
They've got to fix their offense. The defense, I thought, for the most part, played pretty well. The second half, you know, they got worn down, but they could not sustain any offense whatsoever.
Remember, they went down the field on the opening drive for a field goal? Well, the next 9 possessions, they had 7 punts, and they did not do a good job with field position. They had a very poor net punting job by Berger tonight, and 2 interceptions.
This is the Denver Broncos, and they had 0 rushing first downs tonight.
Yeah.
I can't remember that happening in 20 years. They need to get their running game from someplace.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it ties the record. 0.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's good.
You're good, Mike.
Gutsy call, Mike.
3rd and goal. Hines Ward. In. Touchdown. You wear my jersey, I'm giving you the ball.
How about that? They throw a bubble screen to Hines Ward, and I think he just jumped right over Champ Bailey for the score. How impressive is Hines Ward? Watch this bubble screen. He catches it. One-on-one with Champ. He just jumped right over him. Is that guy unbelievable?
Wow. Skips into the end zone. Look at this guy.
Look at that play.
Absolutely amazing. Hines Ward in his 12th year in the league.
Well, he has 4 touchdowns this year, 2 tonight, 76 in his career. He is snap botched by Sepulveda, but he got it down long enough for Jeff Reed to kick the extra point. He is the all-time statistical leading receiver in Steeler history. Everything. Receptions, yards, touchdowns, more than Swan or Stallworth. Well, he and Roethlisberger have a pretty good combo going. 382 times they've hooked up on passes. Nearly 100 more than Bradshaw to Swan.
How about that? Yeah. You know, and I read an article where he was voted as a dirty player this week. I guarantee you, if I was a coach, I would want 7 of those guys. He plays the game as hard and as good as any wide receiver I've ever seen, Ron.
Why only 7?
Maybe 8.
Well, I think I live on each side of the ball.
I can only play 4 of those guys at a time. This guy's, his durability, his crunch time playmaking, his charisma, his overall game is off the charts. He's having more fun right now in this pass-happy Steeler offense than he's ever had.
You know, you think of terrific receivers over time. Here are a couple names. Harold Jackson, Fred Biletnikoff, 76 career touchdown receptions, as many as Hines Ward. As his career has gone on, the appreciation level has gone up for him, to say the least.
And the Steelers are now more of a passing team. He's going to get more opportunities.
Hines Ward, he hasn't played his whole career with Ben Roethlisberger either, guys.
28-10. It was 10-7 Denver, early 3rd. 21 in a row scored by the Steelers. 1:22 left for the Broncos offense to come out. I mentioned Rashard Mendenhall had a big game. 165 against San Diego on a Sunday night. About 155 on a Monday night. And part of the big Steeler run game. Remember, the first half, the Steelers could not do anything on offense.
You know, the one thing you notice about Mendenhall's game now, as he gets more experience, he's more patient. He's seeing things. He understands the blocking schemes. And once he sees it, he's explosive.
Came out of Illinois a year early, second year in the league. Here's Orton, who came out of Purdue. Throwing to Brandon Marshall, first down at the 32. The clock turns.
Well, Brandon Marshall's had a big night tonight. He's caught 11 for a $112, so at least he showed up. But they need to get something down the field. Yeah, they're effective in short passes, but boy, it's hard to go 80 yards, 12 plays against this Steeler defense.
Steelers backing off, playing zone. What a hit, dislodging the ball. And a very serious hit James Harrison lays out on Buckhalter. Good to see Buckhalter rolling over there, and the medical staff will keep him just to check him out first.
Boy, James Harrison, you don't know what he's playing. Here he is. He's dropping off into a zone. He sees this back crossing a formation. Oh! How about the sound of that?
Wow. I think it's hitting the head as Harrison walks back over him, too, accidentally.
Well, we spoke to Dick LeBeau, yes, and he says we are an angry bunch for 4 hours. And they are. They come to the stadium in a bad mood.
That guy right there, though, James Harrison. I talked to Heath Miller, the tight end. He says, I am so happy when training camp is over because I don't have to block that guy anymore. James Harrison, the MVP of the league last year. He was the defensive player of the month in October, and he's well on his way to another MVP season. Boy, is he something.
When you're that good, they shouldn't even give you defensive player of the month, you know? He's the defensive player any month. Orton getting rid of it quick as the pressure came off the edge from Ke'Aaron Fox.
Boy, speaking of big hits, guys, and speaking of safeties, I used to love this guy. This is my favorite player, Jack Tatum. He would smash you. Now, again, the reason the rules have changed, partly because of this guy. He was a big-time hitter. But when I just saw Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins, and that hit right there, boy, I remember Jack Tatum. He was something else, wasn't he?
Yeah. One of the fiercest defenders in the history of the league. Intercepted for the third time tonight. That is Tyrone Carter, who already has a pick six. Goes down to bring business to a close. And there's Ryan Clark. You know, it was a tough week for Clark, who had to deal with that decision. Do I play? Do I not play? Mike Tomlin took the decision out of his hands because of the sickle cell trait that he carries, a pre-existing condition that really affected him adversely. Lost his spleen, his gallbladder, 30 pounds when they played here 2 years ago. This guy steps in for him, and you see the joy of the togetherness of their defense. The first guy out to congratulate him is the guy whose place he took tonight.
Well, that was a real-life example of what these Steelers are about. They are about team, pulling for each other.
Quite a second half. Quite a second half.
Steelers scored 27 points or more for the 5th consecutive game. That is a franchise record. And Mike Tomlin's team moves to 6-2. Kyle Orton and the Broncos have lost back-to-back games. They too sit at 6-2. The division lead in the AFC North is shared. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh will play for it next week in Western PA. The Broncos lead over San Diego is just a game. We have GMC Sports Center post-game. Matt Millen, Steve Young, Stuart Scott are here, and the guys back in the studio as well. It's 28-10, the defending champs win. Jaws, John, Susie Cobb, the rest of our great crew, Mike Tirico. Good night from Denver. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Raven.
This is the This is all. Take it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Take it.
This is Sports Center.
Going in, it was the best NFL matchup of the week. Coming out of Steelers Broncos. Highlights, player reaction, and in-depth analysis. Part Steeler, part soldier. How an average guy became a symbol of strength and resilience to all veterans. Plus,
It is caught! Touchdown! Vincent Jackson! 21 seconds to go.
the hard-hitting sights and sounds of Week 9. Top plays baked with a healthy helping of NFL flavor. Plus, the race to the Final Four begins. Tar Heels with holes to fill, and the Qs celebrate a coaching milestone.
SportsCenter's coverage of Monday Night Football. It is the GMC Sierra postgame report. Okay, yeah, no, seriously. We are in Denver. No, honestly. How about it? We are in Denver. You just wouldn't know it because of the terrible towels and the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Half championship, I guess, will travel. What's
204. How did that happen? Everybody came out and, played up to the level that we were capable of. The guys that weren't starting and were stepping in for the guys that were starting, they played to the level that the guy that, missed out, couldn't get in, did.
The Bengals still technically lead the AFC North. You play them in 6 days. They were at home watching tonight. What kind of message does this send to them?
I don't know what kind of message it sends. I'm not looking to send messages. I'm just looking to get the next opportunity to play.
All right, James. Congratulations.
All right.
Let's take care, man.
Hi, Paul. Thank you very much. James Harrison. I thought that was Mike Tomlin's answer.
Hold on a second. He sent a message tonight. Yeah. All right, we're watching, and we may see it later on. The hit he put on Correll Buckholder down the stretch. Don't tell me there's not any messages out there.
Yeah, if I was the Bengals, I might have gone to sleep on that one. Once that got over, you don't want to watch that. That was impressive tonight. And James Harrison, he sounded like Mike Tomlin. He was like, no, we're going to put it out in the field. Mike Tomlin's a great line. He talks about on.
Yeah, definitely. Towards the end of the game, you got to get the running game going, 4-minute offense, and just keep moving the chains. We was able to do that and get in at the end with Ben Hines.
Hey, now, Hines Ward has just caught his second touchdown pass of the night. He told me that y'all are calling him an old man. Is that true?
Hines got to be the oldest dude in the locker room. He might be older than Coach Tomlin. But you see, he's jumping over people, man. He's still playing out there, and we'll ride with him over anybody.
Hines Ward, 33 years old. Coach Tomlin, 37 for the record. He is as old as the opposing coach. Steelers, and a Monday night win over the Broncos, take it 28-10. Steelers do it again on Monday night. They're now 5-0 on Monday night under Mike Tomlin. The man sitting next to us, Rashard Mendenhall, 22 carries, 155 yards. Since becoming a starter, clearly you didn't like riding the bench. Because when you start, you put up serious numbers. You go ahead, smile. It's all good to put them up the numbers. 22 carries, $155 on the ground. Rashard Mendenhall joining us now. At halftime, they had outgained you all like 183-50. Kyle Orton was 14 of 21 for 163 yards. You all had done nothing offensively. What was said in the locker room to turn it around?
Nothing at all. Anybody that watches us play, we don't blink no matter what's going on. That half is over. There's always more football to be played, and we came out with that mentality and was able to move the ball.
Rashard, you guys, it looked like in the second half you just turned a switch in the running game. You broke one early for like 25 down the right sideline, and then they just kept on feeding you. It seems like you got better as the night went on.
Yeah, early in the game, defense, and we're still trying to figure a lot of things out. And we were on the verge of breaking a lot early in the game, and we just wanted to keep handing it off, keep pounding it, and we was able to get some things going.
Sure, all through the season we've heard that this is the new Pittsburgh Steelers offense. We're going to throw the ball 60% of the time. Ben's going to throw it all over the field. The running game, the Pittsburgh defense running game is not the way they're going to do it anymore. Sounds like tonight you maybe reestablished that. Is that a point of contention for you, or is this something that, where's the Pittsburgh Steelers offense going in your mind?
You know what? We feel like being a balanced offense is being able to run when you need to and being able to pass when you need to. And we feel like we have both dimensions. If we need to win the game by handing it off, we can do that. And if we need to put it in the air all game, we can do that. Nobody's worried about getting the ball or anything. Our standard is just winning, and that's what we plan on doing.
You got speed with Parker. You got speed with yourself. You guys got 3 good running backs. You got a quarterback who can run around out there and buy himself some time. It looks like you guys are just starting to hit your stride right now.
Oh, yeah, and that's what, as the season goes on, we want to get better and better each week, and we feel like we've been doing that. Our running game's been getting better. We've been hitting in the passing game, so it's a marathon, you know what I mean? It's not a sprint, and every week we come to work. We don't look at what we did last week. We learn from it, you know, in a hard hat and go back to work.
For sure. We were talking pregame about Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, this year Drew Brees, considered the elite class of quarterbacks. Ben Roethlisberger's not in that discussion for most people. What does he give you all that nobody else in the league can do?
I mean, it's no accident we've been winning, and since he's been here, you know what I mean, go to the Super Bowl 2 times, win Super Bowl, and we just keep winning and winning, and that says a lot about him and how he gets this offense going, and he's a great player, and if he's not in the talk now, I'm sure he will be. You can't continue to keep watching us and not see that.
So in the week off that you guys had, what was the emphasis? What did Coach say? Hey, look, we're not getting this done offensively. We need to work harder at this. Is it something that you guys worked on during the week? And
we really didn't do too much of that. With after we beat Minnesota, Coach Tomlin gave us a little bit of time off to kind of everybody get their mind right, kind of get rejuvenated. And we came in next week and went to work. We knew we had a challenge coming here in Denver and to beat a team like this on the road. But if you want to be a great team, a Super Bowl contender, you got to be able to do that.
You know, what is it about the Steelers that they don't do anything all in the first half? They're wandering around, and then you guys just kind of put the vice grip on people. What's the mentality? How do you guys do that week in and week out? It seems like by the fourth quarter, you just close people down.
No matter what's going on in the game, we don't blink. And our defense, I feel like, is the best in the world, and anybody watching them can see that over these last couple of years. And we don't blink. We never miss a step, and whatever's going on, you know what I mean, we're all about moving forward and winning the game. It doesn't matter how pretty or how ugly it is. We just want to win.
Richard, you mentioned something earlier about adjusting to the Bronco defense, and it took you a little bit of time, and then you kind of figured it out. But part of that is understanding exactly, because they do the same thing you guys do. They give you a lot of pressure. They bring a lot of people. And so what was the process there before you were able to settle in and get your running game going?
You just get so many different looks, and you can't. It's hard to simulate that in practice with guys like Doomerville off the edge and Brian Dawkins coming. It's hard to simulate that. So just getting the looks and continuing to see what you see on the field, come to the sidelines, make corrections, and keep playing regardless of what's happening. Our defense is always going to keep us in it. So we just put our head down and go at it.
Let me make this prediction for all you guys. Anybody, he runs for 156 yards every week. I can guarantee you the Pittsburgh Steelers will not get beat.
Well, the Steelers
they will not get beat with this guy running 156 yards.
He's just warming up right now.
But I'm telling you, if they do that, they keep doing that, this team will not get beat.
The Steelers are 6-2 at the midway point. Last year at the midway point, the Steelers were 6-2. How did that end up?
Something fishy going on.
How did that end up? I'm just saying, last year they were 6-2 at this point.
Oh, the boring Steelers.
Ben Roethlisberger is on pace for 4,700 yards passing this season. It would break the Steeler record by about 1,000 yards for a season. After the game, he ran up to Susie Colbert and said, "Suze, you got to interview me."
Good job.
A tale of two halves for Ben Roethlisberger. Sacks in the first half, touchdowns in the second. What made the difference for you?
Well, we went no huddle, and we picked up the tempo, kind of kept them on the field, and kept them from bringing too many blitzes, and we did a good job of picking stuff up, and the playmakers made plays.
You know, especially in the past, your offensive line has been criticized. What's working with these guys?
It's great. I love those guys. They put in a lot of hard work, and you know what? They get criticized, but a lot of it's my fault, too. So we take it together. We don't care what the critics say about us because we get it done.
What's the biggest joy for you right now of running this offense?
You know, to get everybody involved. Getting everybody catches, everybody's running the ball, trying to keep it balanced, giving the running backs runs, and just seeing the joy when everybody gets the ball.
And some words for Ty Law after the game. What'd you say?
I can't believe his old butt's still playing, but he's doing a heck of a job.
Cincinnati on the schedule for next week. What does that look like?
Well, you know what? We're going to enjoy this for another, hour or two, and then we get ready. It's going to be a heck of a fight at home, and you know what? They're a great team right now.
Congrats.
All right, thanks.
You know, we can say what we want about Ben Roethlisberger trying to be in that elite class. For all QBs who debuted since the merger in 1970, the most wins in the first 6 seasons, Ben Roethlisberger is now one behind Tom Brady. He's ahead of Peyton Manning. He's ahead of a lot of guys on that list that you might not think he'd be ahead of. You know, Steve, you and I were talking near the end of the game. He's not a pretty quarterback. It's not pretty and smooth, but it's effective. How and why?
I think it's effective. He's a great player, right? You put him on the field, he's going to make plays. He gets the ball given back to him a ton in this with this team. This defense gives him opportunity after opportunity, so he can flop around for the first half like they did, do nothing of any import, and they come out of halftime and all of a sudden, get their stride, and that's game after game. So I don't know that the Steelers, a perfect place for him. Make some big plays, keep people up, get people involved, be a player, because in the fourth quarter, that's when the Steelers really put the vice grip down on people. But is he a guy that dictates the defenses? We always talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. They line up every week and they dictate to the defense. And I'm not sure that that's Ben's game at this point, at least. Now, successful, great player, but is he that same kind of guy? No, he is definitely a little bit different, but I think it's because the Steelers give him plenty of opportunity.
And they're not really asking him to be that type of guy either.
I agree with that.
What he does very, very well, though, is you cannot knock that man off his feet.
First of all, he's
phenomenal with that.
He's 6'10".
Big man.
He's 6'10", 300.
He might be
I don't care what.
He might be 6'13". He's 6'13".
Yes. I like that.
The man is huge.
New math.
If I was that tall, he just stiff arms people, hangs in the pocket, moves, throws the ball 40 yards with a flick. I mean, it's awesome to watch him play, and it's fun. He's a fun guy to watch, too, because he can, you don't know what's going to come out, and he makes some great football plays.
He's hard to coach. He's hard to coach against. That's
well said.
That's what they do.
You're like us, Aristotle. Nice job.
Aristotle.
All right, so why is he hard to coach?
Well, because for the same reasons that he's hard to coach against. It's all about discipline. You get a guy like that, and, when you talk about offense, you talk about structure, you talk about discipline and scheme, you talk about precision. And when you get a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, precision it goes right out the window. But when it goes out the window, in comes a night at the Improv, and he's Johnny Carson. I mean, he's as good as there is. And so you get outside, and here comes that 6'10", 300-pound guy. At least that's what he looks like when you're playing against him. And the ball comes out fast, and it goes where it has to go, and pretty soon it's 6 points.
And they've also given him some great weapons. I mean, you talk about receiver, tight end, back now. I'm telling you, they get running the football. You know, they've been kind of sleepy this year. No one's really paying attention. They start running the football, it's over.
It's ugly.
If he's Johnny Carson, then Hines Ward is Ed McMahon. Hines Ward now 76 career touchdown catches, 24th on the all-time list. And how about the Steelers? This decade, they've won 100 games. Only the Colts and the Patriots have won more. We'll be back. Let's send it back to Bristol.
Thanks, man. It's about midnight on the
Answered each one of your turnovers in the second half then with a touchdown pass, and that was really the key tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know what, we went no huddle the second half and, got guys the ball, and we moved the ball well in the second half. We still have a lot of work to do, but proud of the way we came out second half and answered the bell.
This pass-first offense really seems to suit you pretty well.
You know what, we're having a lot of fun. Everybody's getting the ball. We're spreading it around, but we're still running it. Rashard did a great job. I think he had over 100 tonight. And we just like to keep it balanced.
6 days in Cincinnati is an even bigger game than tonight, isn't it?
You know what, we don't have much time to take this in, and we got a great team coming in. We need to play better to face them.
Enjoy it for a few hours. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
You can get a sense of Mike Tomlin coming through all his players.
You hear his voice in everybody.
Because they all say pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
We can still get better. There are things we need to work on, even though they just won their 5th straight game.
Yeah, they're listening to him in the meeting. All they're doing is regurgitating what he said to them in the meeting out to the public. He's got their minds right, and it's like Charles said, he knows how to fix their mind, and he knows how to focus on the task at hand, and they understand how important the next. I mean, they're not. Typically, you say, hey, we're going to enjoy this one tonight. We'll get on the Bengals tomorrow. No. That plane ride home is going to be all about the Bengals.
Yeah, everybody's going to break out their laptops and already starting to study film. It seems somewhat facetious, but that's the way the world works nowadays. You pop it right in, you're ready to move on. They already got the film ready to go. Would not shock me at all if those guys already get some work in on at Cincinnati. They feel they owe them something. That's a big deal. They want to prove that the division is still theirs. Right now, Cincinnati's the flavor of the week. They want to prove that they're not. Well, it's going to be a heck of a game on Sunday.
And a good point you brought up while we were listening to the Mike Tomlin news conference there. Jeff Reed missed a couple of field goals in that first meeting with the Bengals that allowed the Bengals to stay in the game, and they went on and won the football game. Yeah. And you better believe that Mike Tomlin, I'm sure, is going to have something to say to Jeff Reed to remind him about that performance. Josh McDaniels now alive.